Welcome back, everybody, to the ESL Challenger League Season 47. It is week 3. We are right in the thick of all of the CS action as these teams go head-to-head to try and nab a spot at the next Pro League. I'm Nari Mizuki, or Sam. I'm going to be one of your casters for today, and I'm joined for the first time by fellow South African Hayes. How are you doing this evening?
I'm great, man. We're here. We're taking over. It's been a while. We've both been doing this for quite a long time, Sam. It was quite surprising it's actually taken this long before we've had the opportunity to share the mic with each other. So I'm glad finally our paths have crossed, and what a game to get to share as well.
Yes, I love that the South Africans do indeed seem to be taking over the world. So it's one thing at a time, right? Mistim's now on Ninjas in Pajamas. Complexity has already had the South African vibe for quite some time.
Yeah.
Tech Girl's been doing so many massive events. You know, we're getting there. We're getting there. But we're going to be jumping into Challenger League once again today. And as I said, week 3, and things have started to heat up a little bit. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar, we do have our groups available so you can see which teams are currently participating in the tournament, and for us ourselves, we're going to be on Group D today. But as you guys can see, there is a lot of talent here, Hayes.
Yeah, these groups are absolutely stacked. It's actually really difficult to make predictions as to which of the groups or who's going to progress through. At the top of the group, of course, you can't get eliminated in the group stage here, but this determines seeding going into the next stage of the competition. And we're in Group D, as you mentioned. Now, Group D for me is the group of death, fittingly. That's what it probably stands for, because all 6 of those teams could beat each other on a good day.
Yeah, I think that it's very, very closely contested. You know, not in like a classic sense of group of death where you have like all of the top teams in the entire tournament that now have to knock each other out, but more a sense of no one in this group is particularly safe. And we do know that some of our teams have had some better results than others. We can go ahead and take a look at where our standings are and see how things have been shaping up in this group. We'll be doing that in just a moment, but it is very, very hotly contested, and we've had some new exciting blood coming through. You know, TSM back in the game, and we've had some team shuffles that have happened recently, so it's been nice to see how things have started to reform themselves. But there you go, and so far our group of death is looking somewhat one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, it is taking a bit of shape. Everybody's had at least one game. Sangal, they're going to be playing their 3rd match this evening. They're leading the group comfortably after winning their 2 matches. Of course, 9 and TSM, the 2 scalps they've got at the moment. And they're playing against, I'd say, probably the favorites of the group. Movistar Koi, them and 9 Pandas, I think could probably be the 2 teams rated the highest in the group. So if Sangal could get a win over Movistar Koi, that would set them up very nicely going to the second half of this group stage.
Yeah, and of course, it is a little bit surprising to see that 9 Pandas are sitting on a loss. But do you know who gave them their loss, Hayes?
Was it Movistar Koi, Sam?
It was Movistar Koi. So this matchup today is going to be a really, really exciting one. I'm very curious to see how Sangal are going to do. Sitting at 2-0 at the moment, you can already tell that they are feeling pretty darn comfortable. But before we dive into, you know, exactly the matchup that we have at hand and what those teams are going to look like, I do just want to let you guys know that we are not the only stream that is currently running. We are the A stream, we are the better stream, arguably, but there is another stream over on ESL CSB, and you can go and check them out. We're going to pop up that schedule for you guys now, and as we said, Sangal versus Movistar Koi over on this stream, and then over on the other stream, Monty versus Para Esports. How do you think that's going to shape up?
It's quite an interesting game. Obviously, Para were one of the teams a lot of people were watching at the RMR. They failed to qualify for the major. Monty have had some roster changes, losing both STY and Bros, so there's a whole lot of question marks there. I mean, they've got, what, Gizmi and Ryu standing in. I have no idea. I mean, this is the most beatable Monty have been in a long time, so I think Para stand a pretty good chance, all things considered.
Well, there you have it, folks. We have 2 very exciting games and nothing cut and dry just yet for the day in terms of who's going to come out on top. So we'll reel it back in and we can start to kind of focus in on the game that we have ahead of us today. Now, Sangal, we mentioned it, 2-0 at the moment, looking very comfortable. But looking at kind of their history recently, it feels like they've had kind of middling results. Like they've had good results, but it's generally been against teams that aren't necessarily kind of cream of the crop.
Yeah, I think there is still quite a bit to be desired. I mean, keep in mind they have made some changes fairly recently. I mean, 3 months ago. Generally, 3 months is like the standard where you start to expect consistent results out of a team, and I think we're probably entering that territory. Yeah, Xflout and Gangino, the two guys who joined the most recently, have found their footing quite nicely. Sausal's also done well. Sausal's playing against some of his former teammates here. Obviously, they were Movistar riders when he was a part of the Spanish outfit. Youngster is also another player who people probably know the least in the Sangal outfit, and he hasn't really performed all that well, but he's still in the infancy of his career, right? There's still a lot of room for improvement for him to gain that experience. I think that this Sangal team actually has the most potential out of any of the Sangal teams we've seen. I mean, obviously Soulfly is the one player they'll be missing quite heavily along with QB, but I still heavily rate this team, and I do think they have a high ceiling, like you sort of alluded to there. It's just about the consistency.
Yeah, I think what a lot of people kind of underestimate is the power of finding new talent and then fostering and developing that into absolute rock stars. You know, a team that has been infamous for doing stuff like that is ITB over in the UK. So many of their talent have gone on to become freaking rock stars in the Counter-Strike scene, and while they themselves haven't had the results that they would necessarily want, they are a little bit of a cooking pot, I suppose.
Yeah, feed a team, yeah.
Yeah, feed a team. There you go. That was the word that I could not freaking get to. So I think that for Sangal, you know, they found this young talent, as you said, and they're looking to develop that into something really strong, and hopefully it doesn't get picked apart by some of the stronger teams. I'm looking at you, Ents. We all know what you did recently.
Well,
but on the other hand, go ahead.
I was going to say it's not the worst for them, because if you at least do get to turn some people who are, you know, in the early stages of their career into notable players, you can sell them and you can actually turn that into a bit of a business model, you know. So
there you go.
Not the worst thing, but yeah, let's continue.
So we have our predictions up here. We've already spoken a little bit about Sangal, and they are who you have gone with potentially taking this series, walking away with it. And on the other side, we can't not talk about Koi, right? They're going to be participating in the major very, very shortly in the next few days. And I think that their qualification camp is a bit of a surprise to a lot of people.
I think the way that they qualified as well was one of the big surprises, right? Because they just did really well at the RMR itself. It was one of those things, like you said, probably one of the teams that people were on the fence about, and they actually just cleaned house, right? Beating 3D Max, 9 Pandas, and then Fnatic as well. It was comprehensive from Koi. So yeah, they're definitely one of the teams that people have now looked at and gone, okay, these guys mean business, right? And now coming into this match, you got to wonder where their head is at, right, with the major just around the corner, as you've mentioned. How much of their strats do they want to give away? You know, how much are they going to be practicing? Maybe a different map that they want to float in the major itself, or a different strategy or something like that. So it is quite interesting from that perspective.
And we also have a player to watch today, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. It is from Koi, and it's somebody who has been performing incredibly well recently, has a ridiculous rating at the moment, and it's Mopaz, right? And you were looking at some of his stats a little bit earlier on, and it seems like he might be a bit of an explosive, exciting player to look out for.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not only should you look out for this guy because of the numbers he's been putting up lately, which have been consistently high, it's also because of the impact that he has for the team, the role he plays for the team. He's often the guy who's opening up the round on the T side, attempts most of their opening kills. He's very reliable. You know, he's often the guy who's putting up, really big numbers. And it's a role that you don't normally associate with the player who's putting up the big numbers as well. So he's carrying some heavy weight right now for the team. And you can see he's, certainly part of the heart and soul with the success here from Koi.
I just want to set some expectations. You know, obviously there are pretty high expectations for Koi coming into this, just because of the fact that they have made it into a major and they're about to kind of kick off one of the best runs they might ever have. And so a loss here would not be the best. I don't necessarily mean to Sangal in particular, but just not doing very well in Challenger League would leave a little bit of a sour taste. Whereas on the flip side, Sangal have a strong looking team on paper. But as we said, right, results have been a little all over the place, haven't been terribly convincing. So a win for them would be such a massive boon and would really set them up and kind of put the mental, put it in the right place, put them at a 3-0. So they would look to the rest of the season feeling pretty damn confident.
Yeah, I mean, this is the most beatable Koi are going to be for Sangal as well, right? Like, as you mentioned, with the major around the corner, this is where Koi might be slightly frail, because they're not going to be giving it 100% right now. I'm pretty sure this is Koi's last match before they travel to Copenhagen, if they aren't there already. So Yeah, this is the best opportunity Sangal are going to have. Like you say, for Koi, it wouldn't be ideal to lose, but it also wouldn't be the end of the world. They would know their eyes are on the major prize.
That's it. And now we can go ahead and take a look at our veto for the evening. Of course, it is a best of 3 to determine who's going to come out on top of this series. And I'll be honest, the bans, so far, so good. Both of these teams have their perma bans. They don't generally stray too far from that. We head over onto our picks, and it's Overpass and Nuke. And I think that's also a little par for the course, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no curveballs coming through here in the veto. It's a bit unfortunate for Sangal. Their best map is Mirage, and that is the permaban of Koi. I suppose you could say the same in the reverse,
Yep.
right? Koi's best map being Inferno, and Sangal are going to be taking that straight out. Overpass is a map that Koi actually haven't looked too good on, so I guess they wouldn't mind playing an Overpass here, just to sort of test the waters going into the major, give it one last playthrough in an official. And then Nuke is okay for Sangal as well. I think Ancient, actually, the numbers... They're identical, Sam. The numbers are identical on Ancient for both of these teams.
Yeah, that doesn't happen often, not just in terms of percentage, but maps played
Right?
as well. It is like 100% the exact same. Very interesting. So, and that's what I always talk about how a map 3 is a map that both teams they don't hate them to a point where they feel that they need to get it out of the system as quickly as possible, but they don't love it. So they're not going to like purposely put it in there. They're just going to let it float through. And if it comes through, great. And if it doesn't, well, c'est la vie. And the fact that both teams are feeling confident enough to let that flow through to the end. Both of them have similar results on it. Like this could be the real decider, what a decider should be. So I'm hoping that we actually do get to that map 3. I think it'll be a lot of fun to see how they're going to look on relatively even footing, because as you say, it's a little bit of a other side of the coin thing when it comes to Nuke and Overpass, right? Koi look really good on Nuke. Overpass has been a really good one for Sangal. So those should kind of lean in favor of the picker of the map. But as we know, things don't always go that way.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And I think Ancient, it's actually kind of become the staple as the decider, right? Inferno has been shifted to the, second in the queue, I would say. Ancients has become a map most teams seem to be comfortable on. JT had an interview with Thorin recently, and he was even saying that he felt like Ancients is just the map where the better team wins. Like, technically, the team has the better game plan. It's not like a map like Mirage or Inferno to less of a degree where you can. Vertigo is a good example. Just have people who run around, click heads, create space, and then you win the map off the back of that, right? Like, you have to have a bit more of a game plan. You have to have more tactical depth and prowess, and that's why I kind of like Ancient, because I think it has a good balance and therefore brings some decent entertainment. You know, T side, CT side also pretty equal as well. So I'm all for it. I like the new medium or the new decider we're moving towards now with Ancient.
I'm a little bit sad that we're not going to get to see the Anubis. I'm always a huge fan of that map. I like to see that as often as humanly possible, but it definitely doesn't feel like it's become a staple just yet. You know, obviously with Dust 2 having been removed, you know, it was a bit of a scramble to figure out, well, what is the new Holy Trinity map going to be? And it looks like we are leaning a little bit more into that Ancient. But obviously we kick things off over on Overpass. And I think that there's a lot of potential here for both teams. And we kind of spoke a little bit about Mopaz and how he's kind of our player to watch. So what are we realistically expecting on this map?
Well, I mean, for Koi, it's a map they've played 3 times. They won it against Aurora. That was about a month and a half ago. Lost it against Fours convincingly, and then 9 Pandas was pretty one-sided as well. So for Koi coming into Overpass, their T-side percentage is 35%. Those numbers need to improve. I mean, I know T-side Overpass is difficult, but they're going to struggle to be successful at the major. Remember, their permaban is Mirage, so they are going to get punish-picked frequently. Teams are going to pick Overpass into them time and time again, because they know it's a weakness of Koi. And Koi can't go into the major, you know, down 0-1 in every series and then have to win the following 2 maps. So I think this is a good opportunity now for them to just iron out some of the kinks on Overpass. Obviously, they've been practicing it. They would have been at boot camp leading up to the major. And it's just a good chance for them to now implement some of the things they've been working on in an official, and probably just get a little bit more comfortable on the map going into the major itself, I'd say.
Well, hopefully it's not too one-sided of an affair, because obviously they'll get to pick their starting side. And, well, in what universe would you not pick to start on the CT side on Overpass? So very likely they could have a little bit of a runaway with it. We might not get to see too much of their T side. However, I hope I'm wrong. I do enjoy a team that can put up or mount a really strong T-sided Overpass. So hopefully we'll get to have a little bit more of an exciting play here from Sangal. And again, right, with it being their map pick, you've got to think there's definitely something there, something hidden up the sleeve, something that we might not be expecting or too aware of. So hopefully we'll be getting into the game very, very shortly. We did talk about Mopars. Were there any other players that kind of stood out to you that you maybe wanted to highlight before we head in?
Well, looking at Koi, one player I definitely want to highlight is Adam S. I mean, people were quite skeptical of Adam S for a while, I think, because he was on the fringe and he had never really staked the claim. I mean, he was kind of floating about, obviously, started off an Iberian Family was where I saw him the first time, and then from there went to Nexus, went back to Nexus afterwards, then Movistar Riders, which became Koi, and I feel like he's actually starting to find his footing in this team now. He's been putting up good numbers consistently, plays some difficult roles, but he seems to be quite a reliable player. So Adam S is definitely another player I'd highlight for Koi. And then over on Sangal, Ganginho, their AWPer. He was a guy who also came into the scene fairly recently, sort of in 2023, made his mark with Iron Branch, playing with guys I'd never heard of before from that sort of region, Belarus and Ukraine as well. Guys like Sad, Masvel, Knifey as well. And they started winning a bunch of matches they shouldn't have been. And Ganginho really made a lot of progress. And now you can see he's climbed from a team where they didn't have much recognition into a squad like Sangal. So he's the guy I would keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's for myself, I've got a little bit of bias, I suppose, to some of the players. Myself and one of the other casters I normally work with, Tom Pickering, we've casted a lot of Saw over the last couple of years. So when it comes to Justin Stododo, those names will always kind of pop out to me, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to perform here today. Stododo, he was actually somebody that we used to comment on being a little inconsistent from time to time, but he seems to have started to come into his own a little bit more here on this roster, and of course, alongside the rest of his team have, as we've mentioned a couple times, made it all the way to a major. I know we keep harping on about this, but it really is a big achievement for this team to have made it that far. So I feel like you can't understate something like that. And that again leans into the fact that if Sangal can walk away with this win, it would be huge for them. But we're going to be jumping into it at last. Hayes, we're going to be heading on over to Overpass for this matchup here in week 3 of ECL 47, Sangal versus Koi.
Yeah, casters start the game. We decided we were ready. We hit the big red button on our desk, which means the players can finally do what they are here to do. And, well, that is click on some heads. And we're going to be getting into the pistol round. Now, of course, as you mentioned, it is Sangal's pick, which means Movistar. Koi had the choice coming into the start of this first half. CT start for them. And there's quite a lot of armor that's been brought up here. A couple of flashes as well. So, yeah, let's see what they're going to be cooking up. Doesn't look like there's a catch-up for the CT side, though.
That can always be a bit of a dangerous one, but on a pistol round, sometimes you might be able to just get away with it. For now, of course, we're going to be going for a quick execute over towards B. I say quick, more like a decisive execute.
Yeah.
You have the whole team just kind of hanging out, waiting, a little bit of util to play off of. We're going to look for the right timing here to really pop some surprise into Movistar.
Oh man, there is a couple flashes and smokes that are all raining in right now. Just for the Julies up close and personal. Great crosshair placement, no kill coming through though. Xcloud is the one who opens up the site, but there's Mopos to deal with. We highlighted him in the pregame, and he's already standing up here in the pistol.
Nice flash to come through.
Oh yeah, good kill coming through. Linus doing work with the double, actually the third frag from the IGL right now. A lot of kills coming through, and I mean the bomb plant hasn't even been a factor just yet. Stododo fighting tooth and nail. He knows where both of these players are, but how does he root them out?
And I don't think there's a chance for him really here to stop a bomb plant from going down. There you go. Punch the digits in. Stododo's repositioned up to heaven, but they should be aware that he has made this movement. So it's going to be keeping in lock onto him. There you go. Shot rings through. Spots out one, but that's his position completely telegraphed. Great reposition here from Linus as well. If Stododo peeks out even just a millimeter, he should go down relatively easy. Nice little 1, 2, 3 swing there. And that's a pretty decisive round for Sangal.
Yeah, I'd say so, especially considering the fact that they execute into what, like 4 players on that B bomb site, and they're still able to get across the line. Really good kills coming through from Linus. The IGL of the team standing up. One of the former members of the Young Ninja squad. I mean, you just kind of feel like those guys have all gone on to find some sort of success. You know, Fuzi playing in Rare Atom. You've got Nilo who's doing really well in Met Sport. ZTR's there as well. There's just a bunch of these examples of guys who have been in that academy team who have just gone on to find success, and Linus is certainly one of them.
There's an interesting force coming through here from Movistar. They want to try and match some of the firepower from Sangal, but if it doesn't go well, it could spell disaster for them. Stododo with a sniper rifle in hand. Get the damage with that. Oh, but it's a rush into underpass, and somehow it's Movistar who come out on top with the trades.
Yeah, certainly a good way for them to start off here with the force buy. And they're going to fall back into the bomb sites as well. They've got the man advantage. They've recovered some weaponry. Sangal have read the situation pretty well. There's a big window still open towards, say, bomb site. It's just the scouts of Stododo here. Tagged up Sarsel, and it's going to call for the rotations to come up. So he's actually done pretty well to keep them at bay. And he's bought a lot of time here for his teammates to join up with him as well.
Very quickly forced off of his angle, but as you said, stalled out Sangal quite a lot and brought in the rotations. Nice little boost up here. See if they can spot anything out. Smoke's cleared, but no one's pushing just yet. Now, do Sangal realize that it is just a waiting game? Nope, there you go. Smoke's come out. There's no way in hell it's going to be a rotation, and immediately the site is flooded. Xcloud looking to see if he can catch out Stododo here, and he does. One for him, but he's traded out 3 versus 2 retake scenario here. But Movistar bring it down to just one man left alive, and he cannot hold the line. That's a pretty damn clean round.
Yeah, really good work coming through from Movistar, all things considered. I was surprised Xcloud actually went as deep as he did there to try and take the fight with the players towards Bank and Dumpster, because there's no way out there. You're committed to the gunfight. It's a 4 versus 3 as well. You know you're playing against forced up weapons. You don't really want to be closing the distance. I mean, after the bomb plant comes through, you can't play post plant from there. You're just going to take the fights immediately, and he got overwhelmed. I mean, Sarsel was the one in the backlines with the Mac 10. He had the Galil, so just seemed a bit sporadic from Sangal there. I guess it's to be understood, or it's understandable. They were chasing the round, down by a man, didn't have great health, but yeah, well worked by Movistar.
A little bit of chaos there as they attempted to make their way in. Ooh, nice molly. Deny the rotations. And this map control from Movistar is fantastic. They're not allowing Sangal any space. Now if Sangal do choose to push out, it's going to be a lot of information garnered over relatively easily. So Movistar have cornered the market a little bit here, and Sangal are going to be kind of forced to either take a very early fight in towards mid or rotate entirely.
Yeah, not really the standard approach. I mean, going to be forced back quite easily here. Haven't taken much contact. Stododo would love to have a sniper rifle in that position. Of course, not afforded that luxury. MR12 is not very friendly with the economy towards AWPers, is it? It's tough to get the gun a lot more often compared to Counter-Strike, or CSGO, should I say.
Maybe he can steal a scout away when this round is over. But for now, it seems like Sangal are going to be able to just creep past Adam S. Good little bit of util coming through here. Oh, he hears the footsteps. He knows exactly what's happening. And he just has not been cleared. He's going to come up behind them for the backstab. But in the meantime, the site is not being overrun. There's a few kills coming through here for Sangal. But Movistar do a fantastic job of holding the line. Oh, goodness me, the BM, the USBS coming out. And it's the last one. Sarsel cannot make anything happen.
I can't believe how WG actually stays alive to tell the tale to his grandchildren there. I mean, he was brought so low initially, and then he even just pulls out the USP and runs further forward. Nothing about trying to reload his gun and stay alive. I guess he just wanted to take the fight with his teammates, didn't want to sort of bait them to a degree. So, well-worked defense there from Movistar on the bomb site, weathering the storm, and yeah, Sangal don't get a bomb plot means they're going to have to settle for an eco. And the mix between the Portuguese and the Spaniards should be able to get a third for free.
And of course, tons of money in the bank, so Stododo won't settle for a second-hand scout. He has picked up that AWP, looking to get some use case out of it. And Movistar, again, with some really solid map control here, shutting down a lot of those early rotations. But they do give a lot of time for a change of mind. However, Mopaz getting quite aggressive here. You can see a nice little crossfire come through. He doesn't need a crossfire. He's good for 2. Eventually will get traded out, but here you go. The second player very easily mows down the next 2. Line is the last one left alive. There you go. Flash doesn't meaningfully connect, and it's a fairly clean affair.
Yeah, you take that. 4 players staying alive for the CT side. Going to be a good boost to their economy. But this is the moment now for Sangal where they're going to look to make a mark. Do it for Sam, guys. She was saying she wanted to see Movistar Koi on the T side. We need some wiggle room there. So you guys have to put up a performance here to give us something to work with going into that second half. Let's see what they can do here in the gun round. They don't have as much util as they would have liked. Of course, prioritize the smoke grenades, but it's pretty much just one flashbang on each player, 3 mollies coming into it. So Linus doesn't have as much to work with as he would have liked as the ideal.
And this crazy streak, we're seeing why Movistar opted not to invest into kits in that first round. Having that extra money did so much to help kind of pivot them to that snowball. But for now, again, Sangal changing things up a little bit. More of a mid presence. Dodo holds down bathroom. Oh, that scope. Oh, dear lord. The timing on that almost ended him, but he's able to just sneak away.
Yeah, a bit of a reposition coming through here. Focus towards long for the CT side. This is a bait and switch because Adam S will take first contact. And then Davi G, who's playing anti-flash right now, shouldn't be cleared once the fight with Adam S is finished off. You've even got Stododo with the AWP in the A-bomb site to further compound that situation. Sal's the one to come into contact with them first. There we go. Do they clear the corner now? That's the big question. Oh man, it's all about Davi G. This is what they've built into, and he'll get the frag for free. But that's just one.
I thought he might get a little bit of impatient there. I thought he might try and swing out in much the same way that Adam S did, and that would have been a disaster. But he holds the line, and he's able to get that trade-off. That's fantastic for them. Now, both sites, 2 bodies. This is a great opportunity for Sangal. If they can overrun properly, they might be in with a chance here. Dodo forced off the angle so early. Oh my god, that trade is disgusting. Gets the first one instantly deleted. Position from Davi G is so known because, well, that's where he got that kill earlier. Well, in long, not that exact spot.
Yeah. Really well worked exec coming through from Sangal. That frag from xCloud was just beautiful to take down Stododo. Instantaneous headshots, and that's enough to just lock in the round. Movistar Riders, or rather Movistar Koi, don't want anything further to do with this one. Can comfortably afford an investment in the next round, just Mopaz, who doesn't have any cash. But not like Sangal had anything going for them there, you know, Sam. They were down by well, I guess was it 4 versus 4. Started to make their way towards the site. They then lost to Dodo, or lost a player to Stododo, had to trade him out, and it was a pretty big brawl for them to get into the bomb site, but they made it look easy considering.
I mean, obviously that opening frag is such an important piece of the puzzle, and Davi G being over towards long side, realizing that that's likely where he is. They do a really good job of taking advantage of that little bit of space granted to them, and at that point, last 2 players decide, you know what, we'll hold on to our weapons, thanks. And they kind of needed to, because Cash not looking to be the healthiest despite a nice 3-round consecutive win. Losing this round could put them in, I mean, it'll absolutely destroy their economy. So nice early timeout used here. And that's the mark of a really strong team as far as I'm concerned. You know, they lose 1 round and they go, all right, hang on. There's been an adaptation here, and we cannot let it turn into a thing. We got to stomp it out as quickly as possible, and knowing that cash is on the line. So they got to do it quick and they got to do it clean.
Yeah, for both teams, whoever loses this next round is going to be economically reset. So one of those swing rounds here in the first half. Sangal win this 3-all anti-eco. They get the lead at that stage. They'll be feeling really good about that start on their map pick. We know Movistar Riders have bought... Oh, man. I haven't cast them yet as Koi, you know. I think I'm just going to go with Koi. In that way, it's a completely different team in my brain. Just a bunch of beautiful fish. The thing is we know that Koi have a pretty vulnerable overpass. So if Sangal can get off to a strong start, then maybe we see Koi sweat.
Good lord, alright. Some serious aggression in towards water here, and Movistar will give themselves the man advantage so early on in the round. Of course, Sangal now making their way over. They might run straight into the AWP of Stododo here. Beautiful flash. Baits out the shot. They know that the AWP is here, and that's going to force Stododo to have to reposition.
Yeah, at least a bit of ground being taken up here by the T side, despite the fact that they have lost xCloud already. They do still have the option on the opposite side of the map in Linus. He's trying to have a bit of presence and make sure that Koi don't get too much control or information. Adam S, though, off the back of the flash, bites off more than he can chew. I don't think he was expecting so many players to be around the corner as he swung. And Sangal are very happy with that. They've just essentially been gifted a kill back as a result. 4 versus 4. They've got the map split down the center as well. 2 players on either bomb site. So Sangal have a good numerical advantage wherever they end up here. And they're just going to keep the ball rolling into the B bomb site. Utility raining in right now. Great Molly. I think Mopos is at the smoke himself off. Just can't do anything about it. Are they aware of Mopos' position? That's the big question. Linus is farming them right now. Mopos is waiting for an opportunity to pounce, but his teammates have all died around him, and he will follow suit.
Good lord. Only losing one player. Now, see, this is the thing. We spoke about Movistar. We spoke about Mopos in particular being someone who can be pretty explosive and taking a lot of space and getting those early frags. But here's there you go. Here's the problem, right? Having that really aggressive, explosive play style, Sangal can just chill and wait for you to get aggressive. And they've been doing it every round. They get really, really aggressive, throw out some early util, look for that early information, and then they fall back. So when Sangal catch them doing that, when they catch them kind of a little bit out of position, a little bit away from the rest of their team, they can take full advantage of it, give themselves the numbers to work with. And from there, they can pivot to a round win. Now, this is a little bit more expensive than Sangal would have wanted. They would have loved to have taken that AWP away. But all things considered, happy to bank another round.
Yeah, I mean, look at what that's done to the economy of Koi now. They're going to have to settle for an eco. They can try to play around Stododo's AWP. What sort of spawn does he have? Love me the front spawn CT side with an AWP. But he's going to be heading in towards that B bomb site instead. Yeah, I mean, Koi just need to make sure they don't become predictable. You always have to have some elements of aggression on your CT side. But like you said, Sangal are quite happy to just sit and wait for the aggression to come through. This is aggressive right now. He even hits the surf. Stododo was hoping and praying he would be able to get there ahead of the game. Now he's going to shift his focus elsewhere. Towards Lower's door opens up, nobody immediately on offer. I do like the way Stododo is playing this right now. I love the initiative that's being taken by the AWPer. He knows he has to make a play here in the round. That's the only way his team stands a chance.
God, that was cheeky. The funniest thing is that he almost had X-Cloud. Oh, but he missed X-Cloud on the cross. And of course, that will be a beautiful little equalizer there. Thankfully, AWP still in a recoverable position. So they haven't lost that big, I say investment. It was saved from the previous round. They haven't lost it. It's still available. And Davig's in such a cheeky spot here to get in behind them, to pincer in and crunch down. But look at where the bomb is. This distraction being made over towards the A site could be a game changer.
Yeah, looks like it. The only problem is Adames is in towards lowers, but he's not much. Oh, it's WG, excuse me, and he has an AK. That is a bit of a problem. That wallbang catches him off guard. That molly is awful, though, but Salsel doesn't play off the molly. B-side's been compromised, but so has Salsel. It's a 4 versus 2 all of a sudden, Sam.
Oh my god. Sangal let too much of this round slip away from them. And now Movistar have 2 rifles plus the AWP. Bomb has been planted, but there's no kit on board. So Movistar have a choice to make here as the time starts to tick away. Do they go for this or do they opt to just hold on to the weapons that they have? Maybe do a little bit of extra damage if you could. Oh, don't risk the AWP. Holy 1 HP. Ah, never mind, 0 HP. And that is the AWP lost. I don't know that this was worth it, as the bomb has been ticked. X-Cloud rushes straight in, gonna shut down yet another one. Adames will trade it, but was it worth it?
I mean, the problem was that Sangal actually smoked the diffuser. I think that's what allows for... Excuse me, I'm just very confused there. Okay, no, the defuse isn't stuck, obviously. What a chaotic round. What an absolutely chaotic round. I mean, the CTs do so much damage. 4 kills coming through from them. But, yeah, Sangal will get across the line. That is a lot going on, Sam. My brain is struggling to compute what we just watched.
Yeah, that was pure chaos, and I'm here for it. But I'm still questioning Movistar Koi's decision not to go for the save, not to hold on to the 2 rifles that they picked up for free.
It was 4v2 though, right? So you can't really blame them, I guess.
Yeah, but no kit, and they knew they had no kit. And once that bomb had been planted, I don't know, high risk, 0 reward. It was a tough call to make, and unfortunately now their buy is broken. MP9's not the worst gun in the world. You could potentially farm up a bit of cash with that. And in Mopez's hands, I think that's the exact person you'd want to have that on board. But they're burning through what little util they do have. Sangal might be in with a chance here.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back. X-Flower does so well to get from Graffiti onto the bomb there to deny the defuse, right? That was really clean work from him. And like I said, the smoke on the diffuser was what was costing them, what cost them the round, because Adames couldn't see X-Cloud. It was really good pathing from him. Sorry, I'm just slowly starting to compute what's happened. It's taking me some time. But either way, as you say, we shift into an important round now. There's an open Ganginho. First time on the team side, he's had the weapon at his disposal. And he does have an opportunity to find the opener, but unfortunately, he's not able to capitalize.
It's at least a little bit of info garnered. Obviously, Stodo playing a very dynamic AWP here, so now they're acutely aware of where he's posted up. That might just change their approach, but are they aware that Adam S is again going for an aggressive hold here? He could get caught out so easily. He's gonna come around the corner. Oh my god! So close, but could not clean it out. He's instantly traded off. Beautiful utility from Sangal. Gets them another 2 kills on their way into the bomb site. Yes, they've taken a bit of chip damage, but bomb's gonna get planted, and Movistar, surely now, the save.
Yeah, the A side's looking pretty compromised right now for Movistar, right? They've struggled a few times. Adam S has died a few times. He's been or should I say he's died first a few times on the CT side now. Doesn't seem like they have they're not that comfortable. It's kind of like he's playing close bathrooms, calling for a flash, which he wants to swing off of, and that's kind of been the approach a few times now. And it's just a bit of like a gamble approach in terms of when they try and make the play, and it hasn't worked out for him either, so you can just see they're looking pretty unsettled. I mean, they ultimately had 3 players set up towards that A bomb site, and they don't even get a single kill. I mean, Overpass is technically supposed to be the most CT-sided map in the pool right now, but they're really struggling to make this work.
Dear Lord, the hunt was on, and somehow both players from Movistar Quay survived with their lives. Yeah, that was a round that felt like Movistar had a lot of opportunities, but it must be said, Sangal's util usage has been so good. Some of those flashes have been devastating, and Movistar Quay have just not known how to deal with it. I will also say that Movistar not saving until that previous round, and you know, they keep putting large investments into a lot of these rounds, means that their economy is constantly on like a weird knife's edge, and then they're not able to buy in properly. They haven't been able to in about 4 rounds. So for you know, Sangal, they're going to be chuffed with this and taking yet another time out here as well, just to make sure that they stabilize, make sure that they stay aware of any adaptations that Movistar might make, but they're going to be happy.
Yeah, Sangal are loving life. They won the pistol, then lost against the Force, had to eco, so lost a couple rounds from there, but they're back in the business right now, in the driver's seat here on Overpass. And this next round, it's not going to be given to them for free, not on the silver platter, but it's still certainly going to be a round in which they have a significant advantage. Just that M4 on Just, they have to sort of navigate. Where does he go is the question. Over towards the B bomb site right now. MP9 towards long, gap being closed. Sarswell heads in that direction.
It's moments like this you start to think, if only the players had the caster vision. If he'd just known, if the timing had been on his side.
If he had wall hacks, that would have been really cool.
If he had. I think, actually, I feel like it would be less cool if he had wall hacks, because then it wouldn't be, you know, Spidey sense.
It would defeat the purpose slightly of the game. Like, just a touch.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. It's always funny, like, when you show Counter-Strike to people for the first time, they're always like, why can they see them through the walls?
Oh my god, that happened with my dad the other day. It was so funny. Yeah. I hadn't even thought to explain it, and I was going, this is so cool, and he doesn't get it. And my brother actually looked at him and said, yeah, they can't actually see each other.
Yeah,
and that's when my dad realized, oh, this is actually pretty good.
It is an important part of the game to relay through to someone who's watching for the first time. Either way, Movistar Quay not trying anything out of the ordinary here. Would have liked to have seen a bit more of a gamble, and they will actually start to gamble, rotate up and stack on the A bomb side, which I think was a good call. Not going to win the round with the standard ordinary setup, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to do much here anyway. Not much time for Sangal, 20 seconds on the clock, so things could get chaotic if Just is able to find a frag or two.
Only one, unfortunately, and that's the bomb site basically opened up, and I saw the Molly's going to come through as well, just to make things a little uncomfortable for Mopaz. How has no one noticed Davy G? What? What beautiful timing! He doesn't actually go down. Mopaz still alive, being sprayed through the smoke, and that was enough! That was all they needed to do to stop the bomb from being planted. That is the craziest round I've seen in a long time.
Oh, Sangal, you've dropped the ball. That's crazy. They don't realize there's someone in the smoke. He comes out. Takes forever to kill the planter. Eventually, the frag comes through. Then Mopaz is able to just jump up out of nowhere. Then he disappears through the smoke. And Sangal are just left scratching their heads. What on earth has happened? The round is in the palm of their hands, but slips through their fingers like quicksand.
And that's the crazy part, is because by that point, you know, doing a little bit of quick maths, maybe they would have been aware that the buy for Movistar would have been absolute tatters. And they give so much respect. And of course, you don't want to underestimate a team like Movistar Koi, right? You don't want to go in without thinking about it, without being cautious and aware. But you said it, right? Down to 22 seconds before they finally mounted an execution. And for Movistar, with just a little bit of like happy feet to deny that bomb plant from going down entirely, it's just it's not a position that that Sangal would have wanted to find themselves in. And now the deficit, which had become quite a large one, has brought itself down to only one round. And Movistar, they walk out of that round where they spent very little with a ton of cash in their back pockets.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what's rough for Sangal, right? When you're the underdog coming into a match like this, you can't afford to lose those sorts of rounds, right? That's just a huge reprieve for Movistar getting back into the game, which hasn't looked too good for them from the start. And it's just around Sangal are going to be a bit frustrated by, I would imagine. Things were going so well for them, and they fought incredibly hard in the gun rounds as well to get to the position they were in. So, yeah, kind of rough for them, a bit bleak.
Yeah, we do just have some slight tech issues, guys, so we'll be jumping back in as soon as we possibly can. But there's only 3 rounds left in this half. Oh, there you go. Jeez, quick sticks. Only 3 rounds left in this half. Sangal 1 away from, at minimum, 6 rounds on their T side. This is looking a little bit dire for Movistar.
Yeah, it is, but they've gotten a bit of a lifeline by winning that previous round. It's all about what can they do with that lifeline. Can they build on it? Because it looks like Sangal want to try and change up the pace a bit. They've been playing fairly passive defaults, building into map control, and then working into the A-bomb site. Now, though, waiting for an exec. Still showing some presence to the top side of the map. I like that. They haven't gone completely radio silent there. Means it's not like the CT side can make any inferences or any reads as to what to expect. And you can see there's still 2 players working in towards bathrooms, but that's all a ruse. That's all a fake as they set up for the exec on the opposite side.
Sangal have liked trying these things a few rounds in a row. Oh my god, Util from Movistar chips away, forces Sangal back, and well, the plan to execute B, it's either going to change or it's going to have to stall out. And you can see Bomb already making its way around the world, heading over towards the other side of the map. Mopaz, you absolute cheeky little so-and-so. I'm going to jump in there with the... I'm not going to say what I was actually thinking. I don't think that's appropriate for broadcast.
Fair enough, but he was certainly cheeky in that situation. Jumping around with the MP9, man, that's frustrating to lose your life in that fashion. But they have drawn a rotation of Sangal, so even though they're down by a player right now, they're still going in towards the weaker side of the map. No quick rotations for Movistar towards B either, so they could get caught in some trouble here right now, especially if this first frag doesn't go their way. Couple players making their way up short. Sausal first up on the plate, and he's going to be able to find both of the kills to blow the door wide open. Now, it's the CT scurrying to get into a retake position.
A bit of a questionable swing there that allows so much space for Sangal. Now, Bomb is going to get planted. It's still 2 versus 2. Mopos still has MP9 in hand, and a little bit of spray and pray could be all that they need. And the smoke is everything that stands between a win or a loss for both of these 2 teams. Now, Sasa will peek out, instantly mowed down by that MP9. Last player down towards Monster, but do they know? Time ticking away. Both players have kits. They're going to have to hunt this player down. Looking for him. Found him. And that'll be a defuse.
Yeah, great retake from Movistar, all things considered. It was looking pretty difficult for them, especially after Sarsel had found those opening kills the way that he did. But full calm and collected coming through from the CT side as they just mop up the frags and make their way forward. It's going to give them a good boost of confidence. They level the scoreline up as well. At least for Sangal, they've got some round loss bonus and bomb plants coming through. But, oh man, they're just going to be kicking themselves with the way they lost that round 2 rounds ago, and now what that could potentially lead to.
Yeah, I think the Twitch chat's just caught up to that round. So looking forward to seeing the reactions to that shenanigan. But for now, 2 rounds left in this half. And I think Movistar desperately need to get these next 2 in their back pocket. It's a bit of a rough start, a little bit of damage in onto Justin. He's still going to be holding on to Monster there, seeing if he can catch any of these players trying to funnel through. And again, Sangal playing this really smart, playing it slow, waiting to see if Movistar push out aggressively and make a mistake like they have so many rounds before.
Yeah, they're just playing this pack-based mentality right now. Or Sangal, 3 players working around the map as a unit. Youngster more often than not being left to his own devices. But this is the round that Sangal kind of have to win to maintain control. Their position in the driver's seat. You lose this one and they're chasing the game and they won't have any money going into the last round of the half. Oh, this is going to be a really big gunfight. Dodo finds the kill and Xflower can't do anything about that. Smoke now fades. I'm pretty sure his footstep would have been heard there. Adam S and Dodo committed to these forward positions. What can they do from here?
Well, all they really need is Dodo to go again. But, oh geez, instantly traded out. Adam S isn't cleared. Adam S is completely unknown. Good for the first. Can't get the second. Lots of damage done though. And this could be just a little bit of cleanup, a little bit of spray and pray. Bomb taken off the board, and a nice little spray from Mopaz will net Koi the 6th round, and finally back in the lead.
Yeah, 3 in a row coming through for them now, and like I said, the money's a bit of a disaster for Sangal. Going to be pots and pans they piece together coming into the last round of the half. Can they level it up going into their CT side? I mean, they've already got a CT side to be proud of with 5 rounds to their name, right?
Yeah, I mean, even if all this is all that they're able to accomplish, definitely going to be feeling comfortable and confident. With this being their map pick, I said it right. Gotta believe that they've got something up their sleeve. But it looks like it's a Tech 9 round here. I was hoping for the rush. I do love a good Tech 9 rush. Unfortunately, rush not to be. It's going to be a 1-2 swing. And Sasa will get the first kill there. And that's going to be a free rifle upgrade for them. See if they can leverage that into something a little bit more. They've got some good presence around the map. They've already filtered in all the way up towards this B side, but it's so heavily bunkered down. Cracking in is going to be incredibly difficult. But here we go. They're going to try and make it happen. The flash is disgusting. They get caught out in the open, instantly sprayed down. Last few players have to make miracles happen. And unfortunately, all right, good for one. But it's all down to Salsal. He doesn't have control of the bomb. That's lost in Narnia. There's not too much that he can get done.
Yeah, you're not going into that realm, Salsal. Unfortunately, you are forbidden. Movistar, Koi, their 3 players left alive are the gatekeepers. Good defense coming through. Despite the fact they lost the first player, they've still managed to make the situation work. There's been a few rounds that Movistar have lost the first frag, but still gone on to win the round, which is a good testament that they're still able to recover those sorts of rounds. And normally that's quite difficult on the CT side of Overpass. You know, you almost always want 3 players on that B bomb site, and sometimes they've locked it down with less. However, nice shot from Salsal. Problem is, the time is what he's working against right now as well.
He's gotten every single kill this round. He's made a step. They don't seem to have realized. He's going to try and sneak his way in. Nope, Davy G's got him covered. Rifle spotted, and that's the last round in the half. We'll take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll see how this map concludes.
We are back. Second half, first map about to get underway. A bit of a blunder from Sangal. They were leading, what, 5-4, I want to say. Could even have been 5-3 maybe at one point. They then lost to an Eco Sam, and things have not been the same since then.
Yep, and then there was an unfortunate mishap with a bomb that didn't get planted, and that may have hit the mental a little bit, but now we're going to hit the site hard and fast, and there you go. It's a good kickoff, but trades do go back and forth, and now the site is slowly being locked down as Dodo, last one left alive, and, well, he won't be long for this world.
Yeah, that was a really good multi-kill coming through from xCloud to save the day, because even though Movistar were executing into a full stack on that B-bomb site, they still made fairly light work of it with the kills they were able to get, but then xCloud has his say, and ultimately that's the final say. So Sangal finally back to winning ways. Good start for them here on their CT side.
Bearing in mind they did win the first pistol as well, and unfortunately, the second round just did not go their way, but for Movistar, forcing up here is just not an option without that bomb plant. So for Sangal, this is a great opportunity to create a little bit of a runaway for themselves. Now, a little bit of noise has been made all the way down the bottom of the map. So Movistar's positioning for now is somewhat known. xCloud's going to be holding, waiting to see if any of them inch towards long, spot the shoulder, and that's going to be a great follow-up. With a second to boot, HG comes out. Oh man, that's just not okay. Just as the last one left alive, and he will not be long for this world either.
Yeah, good work coming through Sangal, just asphyxiating their opponents, lining them up, knocking them down. Scoreline leveled up once again, and that's going to be a good boost to confidence for them. Ganginio's got the AWP here as well in this first gun round. It's not really a bonus round for Sangal. They only get $1,400 if they lose here. So if they aren't able to carry any weapons through, it's going to be touch and go in the next. But they have enough to certainly make a mark on the defense. Not ideal though. 2 MP9s and a FAMAS going up against the might of 5 AKs. Actually, I'd say this is a really important round in the grand scheme of things, you know.
Will give us a leading team once again, but economy is a huge consideration here for both of these teams. For Sangal, winning this would really springboard them quite nicely. We'll see if they can hold on to that for now as Movistar take a leaf out of their book. Play a little bit further back here. Wait to see if anybody tries to get a little bit aggressive, gets a little bit silly. Maybe catch them off guard. Play a little bit of information starve as well. Don't allow Sangal to read into their playbook. So for now, it looks like they're going to start heading up towards long. They have to be aware, right? We've got a player lying in wait for them to come around the corner. No. Repositioning for Mars in hand. Spots the shoulder, but cannot get the kill.
Yeah, that was always going to be very tough for Linus. 3 players heading in his direction, kind of relying on the off angle, but then I think his shoulder was spotted, so the aggressing T's knew he was there. xCloud gets a frag back. Wait, what? He's in the back lines right now. He's completely behind them. Himself and Sausal, men on a mission with their MP9s. It's a lot of info for Sangal. That's why they've been able to rotate the extra player up into that A-bomb site. Youngster with Ganginio, they're working to lock this down. And they've also closed the door in behind Movistar, so they're going to have to commit to A now.
Man, this crunch is going to be nasty. Beautiful timing as the players line up. Now Movistar with only 2 players left alive. Adames on such low HP and yet still able to make some magic happen. xCloud, here's the steps, but it's a great pincer from around the back. And now the quick pivot over towards this A site. 2 versus 1, and this is more than doable. Ganginio is going to have to make miracles happen here with this AWP. Adames not so low HP, but HP doesn't matter when you have the big green in hand. Bomb will get planted, however. And Ganginio, well, couldn't stop the plant, doesn't have a kit, makes the right call.
Yeah, it's going to be enough for him to just head for the hills here. He doesn't want to carry this gun into any dangerous territory where he could potentially lose it. He knows the money's bleak going into that next round as well, so well worked from Movistar. I mean, they didn't have much going for them there, did they? With the way the door had kind of been closed in on them. They had to find a way to work their way through that situation, so well done coming through from them. They found a successful solution. I mean, Adames' triple certainly did play a role.
Yeah, it's always a huge momentum shifter when you do have those players that can go nuclear when needed. Adames does a great job of doing that, even with so little HP, no fear. Some great action from him to give Movistar finally a round on board here, and this is where things might get a little bit spicy for Sangal. They've got the barest minimum amount of cash to work with here, and they are opting for a force. Now, this could be a great idea, and it could go terribly.
Yeah, I mean, I back it because there's enough firepower. They're just light on utility. It means they won't be able to make many plays on the CT side. Ganginho is going to be a big factor in the sort of around with the AWP as well. Although it's xCloud who's playing in towards Party right now. How long does he stay there is my question. He's got no one watching lowers and nobody playing bottoms right now. In the meantime, T-side's just execing straight into the B bomb side. They're going to lose more than they would have liked. And xCloud now exposed, and he's going to shut Adams down on the opposite side of the map. I mean, he's playing by himself right now. Huge amount of responsibility, but he's making it work.
So to call that execute brave would be a very kind way of putting it. Very aggressive, very little util used there, getting caught out in the open so easily, mowed down very quickly. And now only 2 players left alive. And now Mopaz is chilling, trying to create a little bit of a distraction. HE's going to come through, but Sangal, they're not going to bite. Bomb making its way over towards A. The timing on this is huge. xCloud has no idea that someone has crossed past him, but now he will spot out one. Manages to get away, but now it's going to be a little bit of happy feature, and the bomb needs to keep going. Stododo cannot turn around. Now they know free and clear. Bomb can get planted. The rotations have already come in. You can hear the players moving up through stairs here. Now Stododo, this is a great reposition from him. Moving out in towards Bank. See if he can spot one. Spots the barrel of the gun. Waits to see if he'll just peek out, but no, instead heads back over towards default. Bomb going to get planted. This is unbelievable. I can't believe they've managed to do this.
Yeah, they've gotten themselves into a really good position considering where they were 30 seconds ago. 2 versus 3 post plant. They've been able to get back to some decent post plant positions as well. At least Stododo has. Mopaz will take up his position in the front lines right now. He's the one who's going to force the fight. He's just looking for the timing on the swing right now. Catches a player with the nade out. Free frag comes through, takes the contact away from Stododo. That allows for him to get a kill. And now Ganginho has no idea what to do, so he's going to pull his knife out and head for the hills. Movistar, what a way for them to get across the line in the round there. And I will say, I think xCloud completely overplays his hand. I mean, sure, he does well to get that first kill towards Fountain, but he has no need to continue to try and take the fights in bathrooms. You know there's 30 seconds on the clock, and you don't have any teammates on the A-bomb side either. You're the only player between the opponents and that part of the map, so I think he should have prioritized his life a lot more.
Honestly, in the same vein, though, like, the way that Movistar were executing in towards B was very questionable, but you've got to give them credit for being able to stabilize in the way that they did. And a lot of that came down to timings. And, you know, for Stododo to have been able to make his way all the way up towards the A site, completely unchecked, completely unseen, it created such a huge opening for them. And now, unfortunately, Sangal finds himself back down onto an eco. Ganginho held onto the AWP. See just how much he's going to be able to get done with it. Also, xCloud has been a freaking rock star this map so far.
Yeah, he has. And I guess that's why they've got to give him a bit of license to do what he would like to. Ganginho is a dead man.
Oh.
And I'm just like, come on, you got the AWP. I get that you have to take initiative, but that's just so much of a gamble. That's like betting on green in roulette. It's just...
It's an obscure reference.
What are the chances? Like 1 in 36 or something like that. This is not worth it, mate. Either way, should be no chance in the round as a result. Movistar march on to double digits here.
I mean, you know what? You say that. This has been a fairly decent eco so far. But I mean, they've lost bomb. Like, this is an absolute disaster. However, it's only Salsal left to hold the line, and there's still a good 40-odd seconds left to go. So, Movistar Koi should be able to clean this up quite nicely. If Salsal can just get one more, this will be a phenomenal eco for them. But he's taking so much heavy fire, and unfortunately cannot make it happen. It was close. It was almost a great eco. But now you got to settle for just an okay eco.
10-7. Must-win round coming up now for Sangal. Loses next round, 11-7, anti-eco 12-7. Good luck coming back from that. Writing would be on the wall at that point. Mopaz, the player we highlighted, he's standing up really nicely, 16-7, but it's been a really well-rounded team performance from the Spaniards, or should I say majority Spaniards. As for Sangal, you mentioned xCloud already. Southall's had some good rounds, but we need more from most of the players, and it looks like they're trying to play with pace, at least just as a man on a mission, and that mission is to the underworld.
Oh, if that had actually netted a kill, that would have been ridiculous. Smoke spray from Narnia. But unfortunately for Movistar Koi, Youngster will survive. It's another really aggressive push out of Monster that's instantly just slapped down from Sangal. I think Movistar really do need to move away from that kind of chaotic, catalytic attempt. And now they have to slow down again. Try to find some of that early info. They know they're at a deficit. They know they're at a huge disadvantage. And they can't afford to let this round slip away from them. Because as much as it's a must-win for Sangal, Movistar's money's not in a great spot. And losing this round would put them in serious danger. So they're going to have to try and leverage every little opportunity that they have. They're baiting out a lot of Sangal's util as well. And they've managed to hold on to quite a lot of their own. So this could bode very well for them once they actually mount the execute.
Yeah, here we go. This is the execute you're referring to. They start to make their way forward. It's actually Ganginho who's in this forward position. Do they consider him? Considering the fact that there was a CT here who's just lost their life, Ganginho and Linus working in tandem right now. Oh, Stododo can't finish off what he had started. Ganginho picks up the AWP, but he'll die to the wall bang. Adam S now left in a 1 versus 3. Barely any time to work with here as well. There's no chance for him. That just felt like an eternity he had his nade out for. And it will be a vital round that goes the way of Sangal.
I mean, this has been a pretty interesting half, all things considered. You know, you get Sangal winning the pistol and the force. They lose the bonus. They have to go down onto a save again, and Movistar get a bit of a runaway going. Sangal struggle to get some cash back in the bank. They get cash in the bank again. They got some guns to work with. They play that round really well, and now they've managed to wrestle back some semblance of control. And as mentioned, you know, for Movistar Koi losing that round, it's put them in such a tight spot economically. They're still going to be able to, you know, string something together, but it's not going to be ideal by any measure. So for Sangal, they're realizing this is the perfect opportunity to springboard themselves to, at the very least, an even out scoreline.
Yeah, it's a good point. Win this, then the next round is for free. 2 for the price of 1. Everybody loves a special. You could say the same for Movistar though, right? Because Sangal, they don't have any money in the reserve bank either.
Yeah, we're definitely on a serious knife's edge here, and it's worse so for Sangal because Movistar getting to 11, forcing Sangal down onto another save. That's going to put Well, I mean, Sangal will have a little bit of... No, because they just won that last round. Ooh, dangerous. Yeah, Movistar getting up to 11, potentially up to 12. Map point. Sangal need to win this round desperately if they want to survive just a little bit longer. Now, we've abandoned the monster push.
Ooh.
Instead, we're going for a short push here.
Yeah.
Somehow, Adam S has made his way all the way up here, totally uncount. Oh my god! Youngster shut down so easily. Adam S will get traded out, however. But it's pulled a little bit of attention across. And for now, Movistar making their way into bathroom. What is xCloud looking at? It's a free upgrade for Mopaz and a relatively free and clear sight. Ganginho, though, pushing it so aggressively. The blinded no-scope gets the kill. Tries to go in for the second, but he's traded out. Bomb still not planted. Movistar fighting for a little bit of space here on the site. With only 2 players left alive for Sangal, it's going to have to be a perfect retake.
Yeah, Mopod's going to get that AWP out of there. And that should be the round done. I don't even know if Sangal want to consider going for this. They carry 2 guns through. Youngster can afford to buy in the next. If they lose 1, then they barely have anything to work with in the round afterwards. But they know there's still some sort of life left in this round right now. They've got a smoke. They've got a kit on Linus as well. A 2v3 as they start to make their way forward. Mopaz is in position with that AWP. It's going to be so tough. WG with the Tech 9. There's an AK. Yeah, that frag, that should be enough to just lock the round in here. Salsol's going to have to call it a day. And Movistar have done it. That's their 11th round coming through. Really good work from Mopaz in particular. And I mean, I love the way that they played off of Adam S.'s position, right? He found a way to slink into that B bomb site. He took a lot of attention there. And they just slowly walked their way up bathrooms. That's why xCloud was by himself and got caught off guard.
Didn't realize that the fake was happening. Unfortunately, paid the price for it. Movistar play that so well. I'm still kind of losing it at the blinded no-scope. I think that was a little bit
that was crazy.
a little bit illegal. But they're going to be happy that They at least managed to do a little bit of damage. Unfortunately, a little bit of damage is not good enough right now. Only managing to hold on to one of those rifles. It's going to be back down. You know what? You could force up maybe some pistols here. Maybe bring out something a little bit bigger, like a hero SMG, if you can call an SMG a hero weapon. Uh,
Yeah,
it's
never heard of
tough.
that one before myself,
Yeah,
frankly.
well. I mean, you get hero AWPs, right? So surely you could get a hero
You
SMG.
get the hero rifle as well, yeah, but the hero SMG is just like never. The hero never really has an SMG. Like that's like maybe the sidekick or the villain. I don't
It's
know.
the hero we wanted, but not the one we
It's an
deserved, or
SMG.
something.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. There's something in there. Either way, not much in this round yet for Sangal. They've got a hero AK that's been carried through here from Sarsal, of course, so he's going to have to be the man that does the damage. But this should be 12 for 3. This should be Movistar getting to map points on their opponent's map pick.
Dangerous, dangerous position for Sangal to look in, and they were looking so good in that first half as well. You got to give props to Movistar coming down into
Yeah,
this
for sure.
half, managing to claw it back on their T side. It's nothing to turn your nose up at. And now they've gone for a heavy gamble towards this B side. There's a little bit of presence over towards A, but not terribly much. And the rifle is all the way over towards B as well. So not too much that's going to be able to get done here. And Movistar will kick things off with a nice little early pick off there. A site will start to get reinforced, but let's face it, it should be another free and easy win. But Movistar not going to get too eager. Not gonna make any mistakes if they can help it. The dink coming through. Oh my god. The Deagle goes nuts.
Another one? Does he have one more in him? Oh man, that bomb has been dropped in Linus's crosshair. He wants another,
My
and Linus
God.
takes what Linus wants. 2v2. It's gonna have to be an ace clutcher with the Desert Eagle. He's got 3 kills so far. Low HP on Mopaz. He's chipping away at just Linus. Don't you dare. Oh my goodness, they know exactly where he is. He's gonna have to fight his way out of this one. Rattling off the shots, 3 bullets in the magazine. Mopaz will extinguish the threat. That's his 24th kill, but an important one.
Jeez. That was way too close for comfort. It wasn't even the hero rifle that got all of the value. It was a random Deagle. And Linus is terrifying. I mean, if that's what he's capable of with a Deagle, I shudder to think. But unfortunately for Sangal, they realize now it's a last chance saloon. They need 4 consecutive rounds just to take us into OT. That doesn't even guarantee them a lifeline here. And best of 3, you've got a little bit of wiggle room to work with. There is kind of a bounce back possibility in that third map, but that's only if you can make your way through the second. And the second map is Movistar's map pick. So things starting to look a little bit dire for the moment.
Yeah, for sure. 4 map points here, 4 opportunities for Movistar to finish off the job. And I mean, it was Sangal who got off to a good start on their CT side, right?
Yeah.
So it's just been a good run of form coming through from the T's. What, I think that's 4 rounds in a row. No, 2 rounds in a row, Sangal, they were able to win. They've actually just won the one on the CT side so far.
Yeah. Yeah, came into
No,
this
I
at
lied.
a...
Hold on. I'm lying. It's 3. Because they won the pistol, converted, and they won 1 gun round. So.
Right, so we came in 7-5 in favor of Movistar.
Yes, exactly.
And yeah, I mean, they've still managed to win 5 rounds on their own T side, so credit where it's due. And Sangal have taken a lot of space here again, but far less aggressive space, right? This is just kind of informative spaces. Now, the pop-through monster once again, and again, it's gonna, come under some heavy fire here. Youngster survives this time. That is amazing, because it means that they have to clear him, which creates a secondary angle to fire from. Now, Sudodo, last player left alive. These monster pops have not gone well for Movistar, and this is one more in the feather, or one more cap in the feather. One more feather in the cap, good lord, for Sangal, as they will stop another monster pop in its tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. Such an important round for them to win. Obviously, just keeping themselves alive. As you say, Youngster doing some big work, and Dodo does not stand. Right. You know what? Xfloud, that's my bad. I'm sorry, homie. That was completely and utterly my fault. And Dodo tries to fake with the death cam there, as though he's rotates and started running straight up to Fountain. Linus hasn't taken the bait, and it's such a tough position to root out. There's no way Dodo kills Linus in the corner here. If you see what I'm doing with that one. Okay, no, there we go. All right, we're good. There's no way, right? He's going to save the gun here, I reckon. That makes the most sense.
Unless...
Nothing on offer. Unless
Nah, okay.
turns the burners on.
That would be pretty magical in and of itself, but definitely the right call to make here. Again, I mean, cash not going to be a good one here for Movistar. They don't have any sort of loss streak to fall back on, so they're going to be feeling the economic crunch.
Yeah, that's true. That does not look great, does it?
No.
I mean, barely going to be any upgraded pistols. Justin, WG, they could afford to dip their toes, but that's about it. 12-9, Sangal needed to win 4 rounds in a row to force OT. They've checked one of those rounds off the list. How many gun rounds? 12-10 once Sangal win this. Should they win this, then there's actually just one full gun round between Sangal and OT.
See if they can make it happen. Nice little boost up there. Stododo doesn't spot out too much, so they know they've got a little bit of space to work with here. And start to funnel up a little bit. Need to be aware of Mopaz. But of course, I'm going to try to circumvent a lot of the damage if they can. He's just kind of positioned in for any late sort of rotation, see if he can catch someone off guard. But Gangino holding down this B site. I mean, the moment somebody peeks their heads out, that should be tickets.
Yeah, should be. Is the key word. Stododo, the only option for Movistar to win this round here. And it looks like he wants to clear out this corner. He does, you know, he's going to step into Xfloud and, well, he survives the shot. So at least he's got a bit of information to play with now. And he knows he has to go for the kill. He doesn't have the luxury of playing the long game. And, well, the kill almost gets gifted to him. There is an AWPer on the opposite side, though. Stododo, he's able to get the line. Not only does he get the line, he gets the kill as well. Now all the pressure's on Linus. He's the only player on this A bomb site. Quick rotation coming through, and it's going to arrive on the scene just in time.
Free rifle upgrade for Just as well. Davy G, he's going to be offered up as bait, but it's going to take more than just one player as bait to slow down Linus. He has been terrifying the whole way through this series. Recovered rifle, lost. Saved AWP, lost. Mopaz, the only person left who could make something happen, and all he can do is die.
Okay, well, I mean, good hold coming through from Sangal, considering things were looking a little bit nervy there at one point off the back of Stododo's multi. All's well and ends well. Here's the gun round I was referencing, the one gun round between Sangal and OT. Because Movistar only get $2,400 if they lose this round. That's not even Galils and armor going into the next round, which would be the last round of regulation. It's happening, Sam.
The OT is on the air. But for now, looking for a little bit of aggression over towards B again. Oh, angling towards Monster gives me slight PTSD. But maybe this time around they can have a little bit more luck with it. They kind of have to. So much riding on this round for both teams. Nope, monster pops just do not work. Sangal, have your number. 2 players already down. Bomb is going to be forced to rotate away. And they haven't over-rotated yet. Sangal still keeping bodies over towards A. They know that every now and then Movistar will make a bit of noise and mount a full-on rotation. That's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
Just seemed a bit peculiar in terms of the timing on the exec through Monster, because it's not like they were doing anything on the other side of the map. They just had Adam S playing Playground, a guy chilling by himself in lowers, and then a flash over the top for the Monster push. Just very disconnected. Haphazard stuff coming through from the T side, and that, I mean, that's not reliable at all. A flash play through the smoke in Monster tunnels, surely that's not the best you have to offer in your last gun round of regulation, right? This is the round where you fall back on your percentage-based plays. Most reliable strategies and options. There's only 25 seconds left. Are they calling it? Because they know they've barely got anything to work with. They are, Sam. They're heading for the hills. They're saving their guns, and we're going the distance here on Overpass.
Good lord. Yeah, I mean, it's really rough when you consider the fact that the monster pops just have not been working pretty consistently. So to see them opt for that again, and of course, have it not work out yet again. But I think that, you know, once you've lost those first 2 players, opting to call it, opting to pull back and hold on to their weapons when you know you're going to have no money into the next round, that just becomes the correct call to make.
Yeah, true. It's just a tough pill to swallow in that situation. But it definitely is the correct call in that situation. Just far less than ideal. Not what you want to do, but at least now they have something to carry through into the round. They do use a pause, I'm sure their last pause, to talk about how they're going to approach it. And you know what? Just go for the Monster Rush. Why not? Just a couple flashes over the top. They've tried it a few times. Hasn't worked, but maybe now it will work, Sam.
Maybe this time. Yeah. As old Einstein once said, you know, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same results is tenacity. It's consistency. Yes.
Okay. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah,
before.
little known fact. That was actually what he said. I'm talking absolute nonsense, of course.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, guys, we do have a little bit of a tech issue once again, so you're gonna be back with us before we head into our inevitable overtime. But I'm a little bit disappointed, I think, with Movistar. They had such a runaway start to their T side. Things were looking really good. They've had multiple opportunities to close it out, but props to Sangal. They've done really well to keep stemming that tide.
I think it's just the way that Movistar have kind of fallen flat on their face is the difficult thing to stomach, right? The way they've been losing the rounds they have. Think about the double from Stododa with the Zorp. Yeah, sure, it was an eco around that, but probably should have won that round. And in the previous gun round, we saw just getting played out now as well, where they just flashed 2 players through Monster. I don't really mind that strat, but I think you got to be proactive on the opposite side of the map. So either taking contact long or taking control of bathrooms, because at that point the CTs are communicating that you're starting to take control A, and then the players over at B thinking about a rotation, what support util they could throw. That's when you pop through the monster tunnel. But there was nothing happening on the other side of the map. They just go straight through dry, and the CTs were waiting for them.
Yep. And then, of course, as soon as those 2 players get taken out, you're now forced into a save scenario because you know that, you know, last chance saloon to close it out. And 2 of the players coming into this round likely just going to be on a couple of upgraded pistols, not terribly much more than that. And for Sangal, I mean, they're going to be feeling a lot more comfortable with this one. OT very much on the horizon here. I didn't expect it to be quite this back and forth. I think they're coming into this. You were the one that said it, right? Before we even kicked off, we were still in the green room, and you said this could be a really, really close game. And I was like, but you know, Sangal, the teams that they've beaten are, you know, not kind of top of the pops teams, and Koi have made it to the major. So like, surely this is an easier one for Koi. But it's definitely been a bit more of an uphill battle than they would have liked.
Yeah, for sure. Thankfully, we're going to be getting back into the battle here. Remember, Movistar, as you said, they got the major around the corner. So how many strats are they saving? How many new things are they testing out? Doesn't matter. Scoreline at the top of your screen, that's what does matter. xCloud is 17 for 19. I think he was like 17 and 12 or something, so he has not fragged in a while. Thankfully for him, his teammates have. Linus is up to 21 and Sousel 19, so it's looking good here. They've also got the opening pick in this last round of regulation.
Well, Mopaz, our player to watch, certainly has been a player to watch, but we'll see if he can help to recover this round for his team. Sangal have already put themselves on the path to OT in a very dominant fashion here. Getting that opening kill, forcing Movistar to really slow down and rethink their approach.
Alright, well, 4 versus 5, all or nothing right now for Movistar. If they lose this round, we wipe the slate clean and we run it back in OT on OP. If Movistar are able to win this, then that is game done and dusted, and we head to their map pick with them leading the series. And they're going to put all their eggs in one basket here. 35 seconds on the clock. Exec in towards the safe bomb site. Not much utility. 3 players coming up from bathrooms, 1 coming up from long. Utility raining in. They're struggling to even find a kill right now. Nothing being offered up. I mean, Adam S finds a frag. Linus forced forward, but he will frag. Kills going back and forth right now, but we're down to a 1v1, Sam.
Mopaz swaps over onto a rifle here.
Something
with a little bit more of a power punch to it. Smoke comes out, giving him just enough time to get that bomb planted. Now it's all about happy feet. Can he spot Youngster? Oh dear God! He almost makes it away, but he's not able to reposition quickly enough. And Youngster will clutch that round for Sangal. We are going to overtime.
Damn, down to the 1 versus 1 to split these 2 teams in regulation. And Sangal have fought back to bring it into overtime. 12-8 they were down. 4 rounds in a row.
What a recovery here. But it's not over just yet. Either one of these two teams still in with a chance to come out with the win on this map, right? I mean, overtime really is kind of anyone's game. You've got so much to work with, so much to play with. You don't have to worry so much about ecos and double ecos and managing that economy so much. There's a real opportunity here. Very even footing. So for Movistar, gonna look to try and catch some early space. And Sangal instantly kind of forcing them to slow down again, taking away a lot of that map space from them. It's gonna take them a moment to commit to anything. And I like that as well. I think that, you know, if you're too quick to commit to a specific game plan, that's when things can start to go awry, especially when it hasn't been going your way for quite some time.
Yeah, it's a good point. Momentum has certainly been a big factor here. And Sangal, they're the team with momentum coming into overtime. Well, Movistar going to be kicking themselves that it slipped to this point, but hey, I guess more reps on overpass now, right? More opportunity for them to get some game time in on the map. And they will find the opening frag here in overtime. Commence proceedings. You don't want to be the team who fights back to force OT to then drop the ball in overtime, because that also sucks, right?
Little information gone there. I like that Sangal are also playing this pretty chill. Not being overly aggressive and just waiting it out, right? They know that the T's have to come to them. That's generally how this works. So hold the line. Get some of that information with some of your boosts and some of your jump spots. Now, footsteps raining through, but it's going to be just instantly cracking in onto the side. Will get traded, however. Sassel still alive. He has been so good for this team. So many rounds. Great util coming through. Chip damage to keep Movistar on their toes, but bomb has already been planted. Sassel is still skulking around on the site here, looking for the perfect moment to push through. Spams into the smoke, doesn't connect anything, but gives away his position. It's a perfect trade-off from Ganginho, and that's going to be Sangal Esports with a quick defuse for the first round in OT.
Yeah, I feel like Salsal plays his hand to perfection there, because he knows exactly when to pounce and really force the issue. When he swings forward, he draws the player out of the smoke, so it didn't even matter that he actually died there, because he knew he had his teammates around him to get the kill straight afterwards. So great work coming through there from Salsal. He's elevated his game massively here from the second half of regulation and carried that through into OT. Linus as well, it must be said. 46 kills between the two of them, 25 rounds played so far. And it's Sangal who open up their account first. It's been a while since they've tasted the lead.
I say Sangal play off of each other quite well. That's been a definite highlight for me for them so far. We'll see if they can use it to springboard them to this first map victory. Movistar now opting to move away from the B side this time. Start heading up towards long, and again, you've got to expect there to be someone holding the line here. They don't clear it! Oh, dear lord, they do not clear it, and it's just an easy spray down. 2-for-1 special. You said it, everybody likes a special, and Sangal will find themselves in a 4 versus 2 once again.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Linus in that position in regulation, and he got cleared out with the FAMAS, wasn't able to do anything. This time, he punishes them with the multi. And it's such a devastating way to lose players as well, because it's not even like you set up for the exec or you haven't even been able to use the utility. 4 versus 2 down. They've got next to nothing to show for it. I say next to nothing because Just is in the B bomb site right now. The problem is Dododo has the bomb in bathrooms, and Youngster's in such a good spot right now. I love the way he's playing his position. He knows he can give up the B site, and sure, he goes down, but that doesn't mean he did the wrong thing, right? He was, yeah, good decision making from him, good position, and his team should be able to finish off the job.
Yeah, I mean, with Bomb all the way on the other side of the map, yeah, just lost player left alive. Position well telegraphed at this point. There's just not going to be too much more that he can get done. Sangal going to be incredibly happy with how this overtime has kicked off. And we're so close to the end. So close to the finish line here.
Yeah, twice. Because it was 5v3 in that one anti-eco, or the one anti-eco round for Sangal, where Movistar were ecoing. They had that AWP from Stododo. He got the 2 kills, and then there was the 1v1 in the last round of regulation. And now they're behind by 2.
These close rounds. Movistar need to find a way to tighten it up a little bit here. Starting to look a little bit more unhinged as the map has gone on. And that clean play that we saw earlier, the beautiful util usage that we saw from them on their CT side, they've really struggled to find the same kind of value here on the T side. Good bit of early util. Sangal have given up so much of the space on the map this time around. Once again, just waiting for Movistar to kind of walk into their crosshairs. A little bit of spray comes through there, doesn't quite connect onto anything. Salsa will be forced off though.
Yeah, you can see that Movistar, they don't want to make any mistakes. They don't want to make any missteps. They know that they have to get at least one round here in the first set of overtime. And they're setting up for a big exec in towards the speed bomb side. It's a good call as well because someone's just shifted away from the site. It's Sausal. Ganginho cuts down the first, so at least he's able to get a kill. He spots the second coming through, finds the frag as well, but he's still by himself. That's no problem though. Wonderful third frag coming through from the Ukrainian Orpa. Almost single-handedly shutting down Movistar. And it looks like Movistar are going to be carrying 0 rounds through into their second half of OT.
What a round from Ganginho. I mean, looking at his scoreline at the moment, he hasn't been the flashiest player so far. But every now and then, when you need him to step up, he has some really solid moments. And this is just one of those where he's done so much to help. However, we've brought it back down to a 2 versus 2. This is definitely turnarounder. Bill! Oh, Ganginho pulls out the Deagle. Now it's the Dodo. 20 HP and a dream taps the bomb.
No.
There's no way xCloud is just that good. There's just no time. They've managed to whittle it away down to the end. Movistar so close to bringing it back in their control. And again, another round where it just slips away.
I can't believe Dodo doesn't stick the plant there. I guess he hears the initial step from xCloud and he expects him to continue just surging forward. So he pulls his gun out, but xCloud, I think, in turn might have spotted that he got off the plant. So he just tucks behind the corner and you can just see the despair from Dodo moving his scope up and down. 15-12, a flawless first half of OT from Sangal. Means we flipped the script. They've got 3 map points now on their map pick.
And it is map point. If they can, drive this round home, that's going to be it. They win their map pick. So for Movistar, these next couple of CT rounds are going to be incredibly important. Make or break for them if they want to give themselves an advantage going into the second map, their own map pick, which we do expect them to win. This is very, very important for them.
Oh my goodness. Movistar are going to be kicking themselves if they haven't been able to finish off the job. As you say, really important for Sangal to get across the line here on their map pick. And it looks like they should be able to do exactly that. What can Movistar conjure up on the CT side? Has to be flawless. As for Sangal, and we saw this approach quite a lot from them in regulation on the T side. Happy to just play 3 players long, 2 players making their way through towards bathrooms, and then eventually exec onto the A bomb side. Not like they always have someone who's lurking and having that presence elsewhere. Kind of just relying on Movistar not playing too actively on their CT side and getting too much information, but they do have players in a forward position in bathrooms right now.
Bathroom completely locked down. No swing to trade off. Dodo will get that first kill. Bit of util out towards long because they've realized that's very likely going to be a pop. A great Molotov to slow things down there and to allow Adamus to reposition. Sorry, not Adamus, Debbie G. And he's in a great spot here to spray down. Good for one, not good for the second, however. And despite some great util usage, the site is cracked open. The bomb is planted, and the only 2 players left alive are rotating in from the other side of the map. They're not holding hands. They're not in the buddy system. No swings available, which puts them in such a dangerous position. And now they have to somehow clutch this out. So little time left on the clock. Everything on the line for them. Spots the leg. The spray comes through. The headshot does connect. And now, beautiful shot from Mobos all the way towards the top of A site. They've cleared out the players, and all they have to do is stick the defuse.
My goodness, how have they made that look so easy? I was ready to go back on camera. I thought the game was over. I thought Sangal had done the job. What's that, a 4 versus 2 post plant? 4 versus 3v2 at least. And Movistar Koi make the magic happen. As you say, they weren't really able to work as a unit there on the retake. 1 coming through from long, 1 from bathrooms, but that was no problem. And now it's Sangal who dropped the ball. Okay, game is still alive right now. And Movistar need to win another 2 to run it back thereafter.
I mean, that round got so crazy towards the end there. I thought we were done and dusted. For those two players to somehow make miracles happen. I mean, Sangal kind of isolate a couple of 1v1s for themselves out towards bathroom. They've been able to kind of play off of one another. Maybe that makes it a little bit easier. But that being said, Movistar had no right to get all of those kills. So well done, keeping themselves afloat just a little bit longer. Again, we're going to see them fan out a bit more. Now they can taste it again, right? But they know that everything is still on the line. So looking to get that early little bit of information here. Looking to kind of cause a bit of chaos, bit of dissension in Sangal's ranks.
Yeah, they just got to keep a clear head. Yes, this is where the IGL Linus and the most experienced player on the team, Salsal, have to just make sure that everybody knows exactly what's required of them. And look at this, I spoke about how Sangal have kind of been relying on Movistar playing a fairly passive CT side, and Mopos says, well, quite a lot of space has been afforded to us here, so I'm going to look to try and take that space, and as a result, he has gotten a lot of info. Still players in towards water here for Sangal, so it's a bit of a gamble from Movistar that they can completely rotate off that B-bomb site, but it's the correct call. We know that. And Movistar, well, looks like they do as well. So well poised to deal with what's about to get thrown at them. This should be an impenetrable defense.
Just waiting for Gangino to peek out. Oh god, Mopos. So much information gathered. 3 kills! The spray down is disgusting. And as the entirety of Sangal turn, I say the entirety, what's left of Sangal turn to face the danger from behind, the second danger emerges. And Salsal now left in a 1 versus 5. It's going to take a miracle to make something happen here.
Yeah, the only thing you could make happen is maybe just padding the stats, but that's not even going to happen. A flawless round from Movistar Koi, giving Sangal a taste of their own medicine. They've won 2 so far in their CT side. I mean, both teams have now had opportunities to close out on overpass, and both of them have failed. So, really, it's going to come down to who's able to just hold their nerve.
Second OT?
I'm all for it. I got nowhere to be.
I mean, we had first OT, but now we can have second OT. And I think that would be very entertaining. We came into this thinking it was going to be a really good matchup, and boy, little did we know. Sangal, I mean, this is a great opportunity for them, right? Previously, it was Movistar who sat on map point for so long, and Sangal had to claw their way back in. Finally, Sangal find themselves on an upper foot here, and they're the ones struggling to close it out, struggling to stem the tide a little bit here, as Movistar find themselves poised to take yet another OT. I mean, it's crazy to me just how back and forth this has continued to be on a map that I will point out, we came into this and we said, oh, well, Movistar Koi haven't looked great on Overpass recently. Small sample size. They've only played it about 3 times, but they've only won it once. So it wasn't looking great. And despite that, a really solid performance.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe they kind of just wanted this to go to overtime so they could play more Overpass and get more practice in before they go to the major. Just get the reps in on the map. So, yeah, either way, we are getting a display. Can Sangal finish it off here in the first set of OT, or will Movistar successfully force another set? Oh, Adames, he's been forced forward. Salsal knows it. And the fact that Adames actually gets a kill there before he goes down is probably the most he could have hoped for. 1-for-1 trade, you're always going to favor that as the T side, though. You're always going to be happier with that. You create space, you thin out the numbers, force rotations. Oh, man, youngster. Narrowly missing out on an opportunity there to get the kill on Mopos, who gets blinded, but still comes out on top of that exchange.
Youngster getting a little bit too eager there, and unfortunately is handed over a numbers advantage to Movistar, taking us that one step closer to a second overtime. 4 versus 2. Bomb has not yet committed, but they still have it in hand. But this B site is so heavily locked down at this point, and there aren't too many more options. A rotation towards A could be on the cards, but the rotations for Movistar Koi will be so quick. They need to make a decision here. And Gangino's down. Bomb is lost. That's it. That's round. Second OT. Here we come.
Yeah, absolutely. What a successful fight back from Movistar. There's surely no way for Linus. He's been the heaviest hitter here for Sangal, but I think that this one is way out of the question. And there we go. Movistar have done it. We will run it back. And you look at the numbers. The one guy who's dropped off massively for Sangal is Xfloud. He has gotten 1 kill, Sam, since the Oh man, it's been, I think, since the 16th round, he has gotten one frag. So in the past 14 rounds, xCloud's gotten one kill, guys. That is a problem for Sangal.
Yeah, I mean, he started off incredibly well, but he's really kind
Yeah.
of petered off towards the latter half of the map. That being said, he's still ahead of Youngster, who has himself also been very, very quiet. And Mopez, our player to watch, is at a 2 KD. More than. I mean, he's just been an absolute demon the whole way through this. Really just keeping Movistar Koi alive, keeping their hopes and dreams in this map. Oh, Tabby G, this is so cheeky. Up the slide, some beautiful damage to come through there, but he's now position known, and he's still good for one. He's gonna try and make it a second, but can't be done. He will get traded out, but so much damage done over onto Sangal. Movistar should be able to pivot off of that.
Yeah, should be, is the key, and it does look like, well, Sangal are going to start to shift their pieces as well right now. A minute left on the clock, early skirmish, things slow down thereafter. Pieces shifting across the board. Movistar still have some forward positions towards bathrooms and towards long as well, which means they've rotated Mopaz back towards B. That makes sense. It's only just on the side of the map, and he has a number of guests on his doorstep right now. Not sure if they're welcome or not. We're going to find out soon enough.
And we've seen Youngster play this position when the roles are reversed, and sometimes he gets ridiculous value, and sometimes he's insta-cleared. So what will it be this time? No, great little bit of value there from Just. He takes a ton of damage in the interim, but he's good for one, and now he's able to sneak up into the smoke, get right up close and personal. Ganginho doesn't know where he is, so Just will be able to get a second. They have not cleared him. They let him live for so long, and Movistar will ride that all the way into a 16.
Every single round so far here in overtime has been won by the CT side. That is 7 rounds in a row here in OT, and every single round has gone to the CT side. So when will that streak be broken? Because one of these two teams will have to break that streak to finally get across the line.
And it's surprising because both teams looked so good on their T side in regulation. Now we get to OT, and the CT-sided nature of the map really kind of crops through so heavy-handedly. As you say, one round on T could be the huge difference maker here for either one of these two teams. Will it be Sangal? So now they start making their way in. I think that Molly missed. That's quite rough. Pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah. What Molly? Sad.
Yeah, never happened. Sorry. I didn't see anything. Oh!
Saw that though.
Will not be this round.
Well, I mean, it's not impossible, but it certainly hasn't gotten off to the start that Sangal would have liked. 5v3 getting picked apart right now, man. And notice how Movistar have just become a whole lot more active on their CT side since overtime. Aggressing long, pressuring short, pushing through the monster tunnel smoke, fighting bathrooms as well. I think they were more passive in regulation, but they've certainly turned up the pace.
Now, Salsal has been very clutch for Sangal up to this point. Now he's playing a bit more tip of the spear as they try to make their way down towards the site. Yeah, now David is in such a good spot. Information garnered, and cheeky little rat play there will get a nice trade-off. Youngster pushes out before the smoke can bloom. He's still able to get that shot. Well done there. However, it is traded out now. Line is last one left alive. Not too much to be done. And like we said, it's not going to be Sangal to take the first T side.
Well, at least not in that particular round. Maybe the 33rd. The 33rd is their last opportunity. This is their last chance here to get a round up. Otherwise, they have to then emulate what they did in the first set of OT and what's been done to them twice in a row now. At least it will be the case if Movistar can win a third in a row here, second set of OT. Remember, guys, if you aren't too familiar with the numbers at this point, the magic number is 19. First to 19 here in OT number 2 wins the map. It is Sangal's pick. And after this, we go to Nuke, right? Which is a really good map for Movistar. So it feels like Sangal have to win here on Overpass.
Two of the most CT-sided maps in the map pool, back to back. Love that for us.
Yeah,
Okay.
true that.
Got to get through this one first, though. And Movistar, again, so close that they can taste it. But you've got to make sure that you don't fall into that trap. of knowing that you're close, and then the mistakes start to creep in. I think Movistar might have been guilty of that towards the end of the first half, and once we hit overtime, they realized, okay, no, we gotta tighten this up a little bit. So they've kept that streak going just that little bit longer for themselves. But it's a heavy-handed positioning over towards the B site here. Great Molotov. Great, like, instinct that maybe it is going to be here. And now the backstab. The backstab from Adam S could do everything. Is now the Monster Pop comes through straight out onto the site. Instantly taken out. Just is a demon. Adam S from behind will get yet another one. And despite the fact that Sangal are able to get 3 for themselves, 2 rather, Movistar continue to clean up. Adam S from behind. There's just too many corners and angles to hold on to, and that will be Movistar Koi getting themselves, for the second time, to map point.
It felt like Movistar were just given way too much space on that CT side there. They constantly had flankers. They constantly had players who were gaining information. They were always very well equipped with knowledge there as to how they should set themselves up, what was coming their way, and they actually performed really well. So great job coming through from Movistar Koi. They lost the first 3 rounds in OT number 1. Flawless second half and well, flawless first half in OT2 now as well. They control the game, Sam. They now have 3 opportunities here to finish off their opponent's map pick.
Gotta make it happen. Like we said, not a single overtime round has gone the way of the T's. What is that? And the funniest thing is that it wasn't even him that got the kill, it was Gaginho, despite the fact that we saw it from his perspective. But we do see a nice little trade-off here, as once again, it's going to be a monster pop, but the line is held, and Movistar, this will not be the round to take on the T side. Mopaz has been phenomenal, but in a 1v3, just cannot make it happen.
Yeah, it's, what does that take the tally to now? 369, that's 10 in a row. 10 CT side rounds have been won in a row here in overtime. Not a single T-sided round. We've played 10. There are 2 left.
9.
Movistar, well, 9 in a row, was it?
Because we go 12-12, and then it's 4 and...
Yeah,
and,
okay.
Yeah.
So 9 rounds in a row, plus the one from now.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so 10 rounds in a row, CT side.
It's a lot of CT.
Movistar have got 2 opportunities. They've got 2 chances here to finish the job off on their T side. Can they make it happen? Mopaz, their kingpin, their crown jewel, he's already down to 34 points of health.
Not the best start, but he is still alive. And a living Mopaz is a dangerous Mopaz. There you go, Devi G. Finally, they'll get their first kill in onto the site there. Youngster position, well known, well telegraphed. He'll get taken off the board. That is the site cracked wide open, and the bomb still has to rotate in. There's still so much time for Sangal to reinforce the site and to get themselves back into position. Xflood has spotted out Adam S.
No need.
No
Just go for it.
ways, bro.
There's no need for the trigger discipline here. You know they're on the B-bomb side. He's just the lurker. Playing with fire right now.
Oh,
Eventually he
man.
will get the kill. That's one of the full HP players. Look how low Mopaz and WG are right now. This is looking really good for Sangal on the retake. Oh, Linus, that's a nasty spray transfer. Stododo catches a stray, and Sangal have made that look easy.
Adam S's lack of awareness there is honestly game-breaking. It feels like that could have been a round that went their way, but he's so sure that he's unseen. He's not aware that there could be a counter lurk coming at him. And he's not able to reinforce the rest of the team. He's trying to catch a timing. And unfortunately, he's the timing that gets caught. And it's another round here for Sangal. And we are really staring down the barrel of yet another overtime.
Yeah. Looking increasingly likely. Is it going to be 12 CT-sided rounds in a row? Or do we finally break the streak? What's the solution here from Movistar? Doesn't look like it's anything different from the word go. Pretty stock standard default coming through from them. And they've been playing more direct in these past few rounds. So maybe just going to look to try and slow down the pace here in this next round. Linus has got 34 kills. He's matching Mopaz at this point. He's been getting better and better as the map's gone on.
The only place that Mopaz is beating him right now is in deaths. Because the fact that Mopaz has only died 17 rounds, or 17 times, in well over 35 rounds is crazy to me.
Yeah, especially when he's the player who attempts the most opening kills. Like, that is remarkable.
So they wanna put this to bed if they can. xCloud going for a slightly more advanced position here, out towards bottom. Not advanced as we've seen from them in the past. We've seen some really cheeky pushes. But for now, realizing there's going to be a little bit of a presence here. Great flash to come through. It is a trade, however. You said it a little bit earlier on. Tees do love a good trade. Gives them so much to work with. As now Movistar start moving back over towards B. Back over towards Monster. Surely they get a little bit of presence out towards Short. No, not a single piece of utility. Not expecting Youngster to advance down towards Monster. Youngster's only good for one, however. It's still 3 versus 3, but the reinforcements have already arrived. Sangal are waiting on site, and they're not going to want to allow this bomb to go down at all if they can help it. Well, blounded out somehow. Beautiful readjustment. Gets the headshot. Still 2 versus 2. Bomb has been planted. This is still so winnable, but they cannot afford to make a single mistake, and that's mistake number 1.
Oh my, Stododo, 1 versus 2 to try and finish off the job for Movistar here in the second set of OT. Otherwise, we run it back in OT3. Stododo takes down the first. He knows that defuse isn't being stuck. Ganginho does have a kit. Does he gamble stick the defuse? Looks like it. Is he going to stick the defuse all the way into OT3? Stododo says no, and finally, we have a T round 1. It took us 15 rounds, Sam. 15, and eventually, the job was completed.
And you know what? It was the most important T round for Movistar, Koi, because it was the one that won them their opponent's map pick. We narrowly avoided the double overtime, but it felt like there was a lot to unpack in that game, right? Like, we saw some really great utility being used. We saw some really good trading off of each other, some good communication, but we also saw a lot of spaghetti.
Yeah, there was a lot of chaos, and I think that's what tends to happen when the games reach that point. You know, multiple sets of overtime. Trying to keep your composure in those situations is difficult. We saw a lot of mistakes being made, and normally it comes down to the team who's able to keep their composure that goes on to win that match. And I think we saw that from Movistar in that post plant especially, right? 2v3, they were down by a man, but they still got across the line.
Yeah, really well done to Stododo for holding his nerve there and making sure that he didn't overpeak that, get a little bit overly aggressive. They knew how important that round was going to be, so well done to them. They do win out on their opponent's map pick. But we're going to be heading into Nuke very shortly, and I just want to get kind of kind of test the waters a little bit here on what your expectations, given what we've seen on Overpass. What might we expect for Nuke?
That's a good question. I do see we have a player to watch as we just bring up Mopaz on the screen. He was the player we highlighted coming into today as well, so shows we kind of have an idea what we're talking about. But I think Nuke is going to be a bit of a calmer affair. Obviously a much smaller map, so you have to be more patient. There aren't as many moving parts and pieces. Yeah, I think it's just going to be about composure once again. I do expect Movistar to have a much better time of it and just look more comfortable compared to how they did on Overpass.
Well, we shall have to wait and find out. We're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll be back with Nuke. Welcome back, everybody, to ESL Challenger League 47 EU edition. We are in week 3, and we're about to head into map 2. Sangal versus Movistar Koihays. That first map had us on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really tough to sort of predict which way it was going to go. Movistar up 12-8 in regulation. Sangal force OT. Sangal get themselves 3 map points. They couldn't close it out either. Eventually, Movistar finished off the job in the second set of overtime. It's Sangal who choose the sides coming into new CT start for them, and we thrust straight into the pistol.
And immediately it's going to be Youngster with a nice opening kill for Sangal. But Movistar have managed to crack their way down in towards this bomb site. They're going to be met by a firing squad, however. And the last 2 players, well, they've lost the bomb.
Yeah, exactly what Sangal would have wanted to set things in motion here on the second map, considering they're down in the series 1-0 at the moment. Lost on their own map pick, going to have to win on Movistar's map pick on Nuke, which is a really good map for this team as well, right? A very reliable map for them. Played it 14 times in the past 3 months. They've won it on 10 occasions. So it's really important Sangal put up a CT side to be proud of right now. I'm thinking 7-8 rounds kind of thing going into that second half. Shouldn't be any way for Mopaz and WG to recover this right now. 2v4. Bomb firmly in the control of the CT side. And this should be a formality. That's what I'm expecting. Just nice and easy.
Mopaz is still alive. There's definitely a chance, however slim. We'll see if he can get one through the smoke. Spots out one player, but aren't quite connected. Oh my goodness, Salsal very nearly starts shooting at his own teammate there. Luckily readjusts. Realizes...
He got it, wait.
Did he?
He's got the bomb.
He's got the bomb. They're out of there,
there,
bro. A little bit of a smoke play, and he might actually be able to get this plant. That little bit of extra money could be game-changing. This is cheeky.
Oh, this is more than cheeky. This has actually flipped the script in the round. 2v4, sure, that's a big problem, but they've actually got a pretty good chance of making something happen right now. Mopaz and WG working in tandem, and Mopaz is a man on a mission, but he gets shut down. I mean, the fact that Movistar actually even get the bomb from that is very impressive. So at least they get a plant, right? That'll enable a force buy in the next round.
Yeah, that could very much turn things back in their favor. I mean, without bomb, right, obviously it's just a second eco, no money spent, GG go next. Now, however, they can bring in a couple of upgrades. They can feel a lot more confident going into this round. Very cheeky bomb steal there off of the back of a little bit of a smoke play. Sangal really dropped the ball on that one, but despite losing that first round, we're seeing this a lot more commonly. The CT force up on round 2. I still am not sure how I feel about it. You know, I think that you definitely gamble a little bit too much when you know that your opponent has a lot of money available. But knowing that it is the CT side,
I think it comes down to a map dependent thing.
Yeah.
It's a lot more difficult to make a case for it in CS2 compared to in CSGO. Obviously, you just have more rounds to play with in CSGO, so a bit more leeway, a bit more room to make those risky decisions. Whereas in CS2, not so much. Either way, Movistar Toy at T-side, they have got that force by at their disposal, and they will be able to trade 1-for-1. Gap left in that smoke, and a player's made his way down the vent. That's going to be putting pressure on Linus, the only player down in towards the secret stairs right now. He's going to be backtracking into the B-bomb site. They're chasing him down, and he has got some support coming through to him, but I think Movistar might actually pivot up the vent, up the ladder in towards A. Oh, Stododo, he was the one player they're relying on, but he's been taken down.
I just had absolutely no idea, never expecting the counter flank. And that's unfortunately going to be numbers advantage in here for Sangal. Again, it's a firing squad awaiting the Movistar Koi players as they make their way in here. You think Ino figured it out? No, the run and gun. Beautifully done there. Brings it back to 2 versus 2. And again, it's a doable position. A little bit of damage taken over, but Youngster will win out that duel. Now Davy G, very low HP himself, but could win this one out. Brings it down to just a 1 versus 1. Falls right off, but he's going to have to be quick on this reposition. He doesn't have a lot of time. Sarsel doesn't have a kit, though, so he's going to have to get onto the bomb. There he is, on bomb, waiting to see what Davy G does. Oh, God, he's off. He's moved off. He's too paranoid. And Davy G, all he has to do is stand and wait. Hold the line. He knows there's no time.
There is time. He's picked up a kit. There's just enough time. Salsal's found a kit on his fallen comrade. He's gotten on the defuse, and the round will go the way of Sangal. Only just, though. I don't fault you at all, Sam, for saying there was no time, because I didn't think there was either. And then he just finds the magical kits on the floor. WG does everything perfectly there. Lovely decision-making in the 1v2. Steps to get the first frag. He heard the footsteps of the second, so he knew he was also coming through from the same part of the map. But he just dips out. He slinks away, no hesitation. Unfortunately, goes down in the gunfight, and Sangal win the round. Doesn't stop Movistar from investing again, though.
I mean, that felt very akin to the smoke play bomb pickup, right? You play a little bit of fancy footwork, get yourself into a prime position to pick up just the thing you need. And wow, what a way to crack open this third round. Mopaz instantly getting the first kill of the round out onto the site already, pushing Sangal back into an uncomfortable position. Doesn't spot Youngster through the fire and the flames, but will get traded out here. Still a highly favorable position for Movistar. Sangal have to reassess the situation. And it looks like they're just going to back on out.
Yeah, you can't blame them. Look at the money. They've just... sheer brute force alone has been enough here for Movistar to get across the line. And I really like the way they turn up the pace. They know that the pistol round and the force buy afterwards were very close. I suppose pistol round wasn't that close, but previous round certainly was. And they want to try and keep up as much pressure as they can on Sangal. So a fast-paced play was a really good call. Worked out nicely for them. And now Sangal, they're the ones who have had their economy shattered. They're going to have to force buy. That's going to get Movistar with a really good opportunity now to accumulate a few rounds.
I mean, when you consider how close, as you say, that last round was, bringing it down to a 1 versus 1, it's amazing that Sangal even had the money to do anything in this round. So for Movistar, they're going to be quite happy putting that round on their backs, heading into the next. 4 players still surviving, opting not to push through towards CT, but rather back towards their own spawn. They don't want to risk being an exit frag for that MP9. They don't want to give over any unnecessary cash. Making the right call there. Mac 10 still in hand. We saw how freaking absurd it can be. Run and jump, spray down. Flipping out. I'm still reeling at that shot over towards under. But we move on. As now Sangal have to make miracles happen with a very broken buy.
Yeah, try and do to Movistar just under them, but like you say, their investment is far worse off. Youngster gets a kill, he's picked up a gun as well, but he doesn't need the picked up AK. The 5-7 is enough to wreak havoc. Eventually he will fall. Mopaz has more work to do in conjunction with Justo. Oh, Sangal, you don't have to continue to take these gunfights. It was a 5v3, lads. The plan was always to lobby crunch, but I think once Youngster gets those 2 kills on the AK, you just cancel. Pull the plug. Lock your profits in.
So far, great recovery from Sangal just to keep things in a recoverable position. And look at this very deep hole towards outside here. If Movistar Koi don't check this adequately, Mopaz knows. He looks, but he's not quick enough. Xfloud has woken up from the end of Overpass, and he will clean it up with a 3K.
Yeah, wonderful multi-kill coming through from him. Normally that position is just good for the one frag, and then you get traded out afterwards, but he goes way above and beyond his Call of Duty. And, I mean, it was always supposed to be Sangal's round, but got a bit scratchy. They'll make it look easy towards the end there, and at this point we're just trading force spies.
Well, we expected back and forth, and our teams are certainly delivering. A very early tactical timeout as well from Movistar Koi. First half of this round hasn't kicked off in quite the manner that they would have appreciated, and that 3K from Xfloud, I think the fact that 3 of them died to that, just one after another, definitely something that they want to just rein in a little bit. Like, come on, boys. Let's tighten it up a bit. Can't be allowing that to happen. Still have cash to invest into this, though. But again, both teams on a knife's edge. So close to broken economy again. Neither one really stamping out too much of a controlling begin, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No one asserting their authority here just yet. Been back and forth. No clean rounds, nothing clear cut. Normally that favors the T side, but it's only really going to work for Movistar if they can start to win rounds to capitalize on this broken up play. 3-1 right now. If Movistar loses without a bomb plant, 4-1 becomes 5-1, and then Sangal, despite that it's been such close rounds, would feel really good about the position they find themselves in. So let's see what this 5th round holds.
So far, some good presence from Sangal, just holding the line. Good util usage as well, just to slow down Movistar a little bit. Movistar still have a lot of pop util, though. Wherever they opt to exec, it could be terrifying. And still, they have presence all across the map here. Nothing committed just yet. Oh, this push towards under. I mean, they're getting towards lower completely for free. They're already downstairs. If they can make an opening here on the B side, it's 2 versus 1. All they have to do is take down liners, and it's a free site for a bomb plant.
Oh, that flash is well timed. And at this point, Linus is just playing the protocols. He knows as soon as I see someone drop the molly, reposition. And rotation's going to start to come through. They've actually pulled Ganginho down in towards the B bomb site. That's created space towards ramp now. Movistar starting to assume control here, starting to take up the space that's been granted to them. Or it could all be a ruse. Now there's pressure applied towards the A-bomb side. A lot of moving parts right now for the C side. How do they tie everything together is a big question. And well, there's your answer.
Well, so far, Linus doing his best to try and pop up there. But down to 2 versus 2. The Mac 10 reigns supreme, and Ganginho has to make something happen from heaven above. Gets the first. Adamus is so low HP, but Ganginho doesn't have a kit. Timing
Where's
here.
the bomb planted though? That's my question. Is it
It's in front of
silo?
the... Yeah, it's on the other side.
So Adames can fight from here then, right?
Yeah, it's planted for him. Ganginho is not looking in the right direction. Goes for the tap. Turns his back. Oh, dear Lord. The timing on that was impeccable.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe how Adames actually snakes his way off the bomb site. I was so concerned it was planted under heaven and that he was just going to be caught in a position where he couldn't do anything about the defuse, but I mean, he was the one to plant it, so he knew what his options were, and that's a huge round for Movistar to win. I mean, that certainly wouldn't have been the call from spawn to go through around outside, up vent to try and split A, but that was just making the most of the moment. And, well, now Sangal forced again, so rounds continue to be traded back and forth here on the nuke.
It was a solid default from Movistar. They really played the map so well there. Good Lord. We're already in towards the A bomb site. First kill has come through. Sangal forced right out of sight there. Just going to stand in the molly and try and assert some dominance there. Not good for the kill, unfortunately, but he sent his message. Sangal, an attempt at a retake here is going to be incredibly difficult. And it looks like they're just going to try to hold on to the weapons that they have. I see Xfloud still kind of hanging out. We'll see if he can get something done with the Deagle here on the exit, but nope. He's also just going to back out. It's a 4-man save.
Finally, Movistar going to win consecutive rounds here, first time on the map. And it's not the end of the world for Sangal, because they're going to eco in the next round, right? But they'll essentially have a set of forced up weapons to work with, so there'll still be some firepower behind them going into the 7th round. 3-all though, and Movistar kind of feels like they're starting to get the engine going now on this T side. You can just see they're moving really cleanly. You can see how good their upper side takes are looking as well, the pathing they're taking, their utility as well, the way they're clearing out the angles as they make their way forward. I feel like the 8 anchors are going to have a very tough time in this half for Sangal.
I love that we're still so back and forth though. Movistar once again putting up such a solid fight on their T side, on a map that maybe they shouldn't be getting that much value from their T side on. And for Sangal, it's a concern, because while we know that they could put up a fight on the T side, on Overpass, that was their map pick. We expect them to do well on that. They're going to need to get a lot more done here on their CT side if they're going to feel comfortable going into the next. So a little bit of a save here. Kept those weapons from the previous round. Absolutely no cash to work with. So it was realistically the only call that they could have made. And again, it's a solid default from Movistar, looking for that early info, but they've really reinforced towards outside this time. They know to expect for that, and unfortunately, they're not expecting enough, as Davy will crack open the round with the first kill onto Youngster.
Yeah, important kill. Xcloud's going to get called into action as well. Adames has to clear out all these angles as he makes his way forward. Really only going to have one shot in that sort of a situation with the Desert Eagle. If you don't connect, you know it's tickets. And Movistar going to get to taste the lead here, surely. Shouldn't have too much trouble in getting across the line from here. First time they'll have the lead here on their map pick. T-side nuke racking up rounds early on. Good timing though. Mopars looking the wrong way, but not going to snowball into much for Linus.
Should be a fairly clear-cut round win here for Movistar. Going to just circumvent the A side altogether. Head down over towards B. Get the bomb planted. They've still got eyes and ears looking out. They want to take these guns away if they can. Make that reinvest in the next round as expensive as humanly possible. That's going in off the board. Salsel knows where he is. Oh, but not going to be allowed to get that kill. Not going to be allowed to take another gun away from Movistar. Would have liked to have taken that M4 away, but they'll be happy to take the round with 4 players left alive.
Yeah, Salsel's not completely out of the woods, I don't think. He is starting to fall back towards Silo. Okay, this should guarantee him his life going into the next round. 4-3.
So it's such a strong start from Movistar. As much as it's been a bit of a push and a pull here, really close rounds back to back, Movistar have definitely picked up the pacing, picked up the momentum, and kept things firmly in their control. I want to see how Sangal adapt now, because it's not one of the first times, but it's been a while since they're going to have proper guns in their hands. So they know that Movistar like to default. They know that they like to have a bit of that presence over towards Squeaky, towards, Secret. So how do they now adapt to that? How do they now maintain and control that space now that they actually have the firepower to deal with it?
Yeah, all very important questions.
All right. We head back in now. Waiting for Sangal. Waiting to see if Xcloud goes for something. Nah, nothing spicy. Nothing spicy. I was waiting to see if maybe they go for some cheeky kind of AWP shenanigans. Low armor, low util. That would have been quite cool. But instead, they're just going to stick to, some regular old...
Playing by the book.
Yeah, 100%.
Not the end of the world. Let's see Adames. He's certainly not playing by the book right now as he phases his way through these smokes. He's got a lot of players with their back turned right now. Good kill coming through from him. And that's just going to completely throw the cat amongst the pigeons. Certainly shaking things up. Created space, but Ganginho, oh my goodness, that's a great kill at range. Salsel gets in on the action as well. Good start to the round for Movistar Riders Koi, but everything turned on its head from that point, and it's just Justin Adames left remaining.
I mean, this is what I was waiting for, right? How was Sangal going to deal with it? They do a nice little hold. They make sure that they, shut down Movistar's forces before they even have a chance to get to the space. Bro, if Linus dies there, that's just It's just ridiculous.
You're not
but
having
he
it?
doesn't. Yeah, no. It wasn't about that life. But he does manage to succeed. And there you go. A fairly clean round for them this time around with 4 players left alive. Great
Yeah.
adaptation.
It's exactly what they needed, right? Making sure that the game doesn't snowball out of control. Scoreline leveled up once again. They keep Movistar Koi here bound to earth, still on this T side. But they have enough money to afford another full buy. At least Sangal can keep a couple players alive, start to build up some residual cash. Second of 3 timeouts being used by Movistar Koi. They're looking really decisive. I'm liking the set plays and the defaults coming through from Movistar Koi. Just seems to be getting caught off guard every now and again. I wonder if they're going to fall back on that fast-paced A hit that's worked 2 for 2 so far here, right? On the T side.
Yeah, I think that, one of the things we praised Movistar for in the previous map was some really great util usage. So getting those A-pops. Well, the monster pops didn't really work out so well for them. The A-pops have definitely done a lot better here on Nuke. We'll see if they do lean into that a little bit more. We haven't really seen much ramp aggression from them either, but no, this time it looks like we're going to see a very strong push towards outside with a little bit of a lurk over towards ramp. And the problem is that Sangal are aware that outside might be a problem. So, well, in theory anyway, xFloud should be on high alert to see these players. Unfortunately, it's going to come down to a 4 versus 1 here, and xFloud could get absolutely overrun, but no. He backs out. The entirety of Movistar Koi have just walked down secret for free.
They've completely bypassed him, but they will start to come in towards Linus right now. He's not actively checking, but he's just holding one of those angles. You can see the top of the head as they make their way forward. That's why Mopaz is crouched, though. Really good game sense and just awareness in general there. Now Linus' position's been compromised, and there's a lot of pressure starting to mount on this B-bomb side. He's just trying to find himself a position where he can try and mount some sort of a defense. It's a nice angle he has right now, but there's so much pressure. They now know where he is. It's going to be the AWP of Stododo to clear him out. Not the conventional weapon, but the job is still done. And now if you're Sangal, I was going to say you might think about the save. And until Ganginho gets that frag, though, that's certainly going to keep them interested.
Gives them a little bit of a lifeline here to try to push in from. They're trying to create a little bit of a pincer here, but Adam S is holding the line. Another player down for Sangal. Yet another one as Youngster is not much longer for this world. Sangal trying so hard to crack into the site, and Movistar have shut it down. Southsol now gonna have to back off, try and hold on to this weapon. And they're going to be kicking themselves for that one, for allowing the entirety of Movistar to make their way down secret completely unseen, unnoticed, threading the needle like that. Sangal are not going to be happy.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that I think because Movistar Koi do it so early in the round, that's what really catches Sangal off guard. There was no sort of trying to clear the smoke out towards outside to get information to see if anybody was crossing. And I think that's why Movistar Koi just continued to commit, because Sangal had no info whether one player had crossed, 4 players had crossed, or nobody had crossed. And that's why they just completely overwhelm and sprawl all over that B bomb site. It was a well-coordinated hit once they started to get the wheels rolling. 5-4, T-side in the lead once again. CT's going to have to eco. And this is where things start to look quite bleak for Sangal, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, again, we kind of hop on this quite a bit, but it is their CT side. However, I mean, winning this round, if by some miracle they could steal that AWP from Stododo, I'm just waiting for Ganginho to get that back in his hands, because as much as I said that he wasn't exactly like a standout performer in the previous map, he did have some really pivotal kind of clutch kills that really made a huge difference in a lot of the rounds. So it would be nice to see that back in hand, but for now, unfortunately, as we said, right, a little bit of upgraded pistols, tiniest bit of util to facilitate something if they can. And the saved rifle from the round before. Salso's going to hold that to try to lock down outside. He knows outside is a weak point, and unfortunately loses that duel. And that's their one rifle completely taken away. Now it's all down to the pistols on towards the side. One kill can come through, but Ganginho has a... I was about to say he's got a battle ahead of him, but no, he doesn't. Just deleted.
He was a gardener in the wall. You know, there's that saying, rather be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the wall. So
fair.
He was that gardener in the wall. Never stood a chance. There was no battle. There was no contest. round over. 4 players stay alive for Movistar, so they build up their money going into this next round, and, well, they're guaranteed a full buy in the round after this. So they're sitting very pretty. I feel like Sangal need a level playing field at the bare minimum here, Sam. I mean, 4-5 rounds, not going to cut it going into their team side.
Absolutely not. But open hand, and he's posted up towards outside. And again, heavily reinforced your X-Cloud. I love this. Ganginho loses the AWP battle. He's completely taken off board. But now, footsteps being heard. Surely X-Cloud is aware of this. He's gotten in behind them, but he knows that there's one on top of Silo. He's just trying to get behind them in lobby. His spidey sense is tingling. This is where that bomb is, and if he can get this kill... Don't go for the knife. Surely not.
He wants more. He wants more than just one. That's the thing. He wants more than just one frag from this position. He knows the bomb carrier's here as well, though. Waiting for his teammates to come through lobby. This is actually really nice. He got great info first for free. Not that clean on the second. I thought for a moment Just might be able to lock down a multi. It's not the end of the world for Movistar, considering the position X-Cloud was in, you know. 3v3 is still very recoverable.
What a ridiculous position there. And I mean, that kind of makes up for the fact that Ganginho loses that AWP battle. So now, off the back of those 2 kills, he's brought things back into a winnable position. His line is from the top rope. Slams Adames back down to the ground. 2 players left. Bomb is lost and being babysat. These are the most well-paid au pairs in all of EU.
Yeah, they're doing a great job, man. They are not going to be letting this thing out of their sight, that's for sure. And Stadodo, well, no need to save. Last round of the half coming up next. I guess Just doesn't have much money, so Stadodo could drop an AK. But Sangal will do what was required of them coming into this, and that was win the round. Very important round going their way.
Line is going to make his way back over, pick up the AWP, so they've still got that for the next round and don't have to reinvest into it. But this is one of those rounds that you can't really replicate, because you've done something completely out of the ordinary, something super cheeky, and if you try and do it again, like, it's just not going to happen. They're going to be waiting for you to try something like that. And so for Sangal, for it to have taken so long for them to win this round off the back of something like that, it definitely doesn't bode well for this last one.
Yeah, it's not like something you can repeat too easily, that's for sure. I was actually a bit worried that X-Cloud wouldn't be able to accomplish much from that position, because they might keep pushing forward and exec into the bomb sites. And yeah, he's got an awesome lurk going on, but there's just nobody to snap up. And he made his way into the lobby, and he was able to get himself a good kill and continues to do work outside, but he's been brought down low. That T-smoke has actually really helped X-Cloud get out of dodge. He's loving life right now.
Yeah, he's going to be saying, thank you, Movistar, for the smoke that just saved my damn life. And Ganginho, this time around, not going to lose the AWP battle. Instead, he's going to come out on top of it. And it's looking like we might just get that even scoreline, as Mopaz is good for 1, but he takes a ton of damage in the cross. And now the bomb is stalled out towards Secret X-Cloud. Here's them. No. Checks a little too deep, loses his life for it, but information given over. Youngster will trade it out.
Yeah, that's a peculiar one there. I thought they knew Just was in that position, but he kind of just catches them off guard. Brought down to a 2 versus 2. Mopaz has been able to snake his way through A. Just continues to work it out here. Flashlight in the sky forces Ganginho off the angle. Not clean from Mopaz. That should have been a free frag. Can Just finish it off? My goodness, it's close. Gonna force the AWP backwards, Ganginho, you're burning alive. Just is so scared to swing. Oh, understandably so. That's a quad kill coming through for the Portuguese rifler. Great job. Is it enough, though? We'll find out after a short break.
case of deja vu as we come into this with a 7-5 scoreline at the half once again. Previously, it was in Sangal's favor, but this time around, it's going to be Movistar who are feeling the power. We'll see if they can continue that through here on the CT side. They want to try to close this one out. It is, of course, the last map in the series if they can win this, and they'll go up 2-0 in ECL.
Yeah, Sangal looking to go 3-0, but that means they have to win here on Nuke and then on Ancient to decide. Adames, you've got a Zeus, it's the pistol round. A Zeus in the pistol. My god. I mean, okay, alright. Go ahead.
But he didn't go ahead. That was the sad part. They just like completely circumvented him. And, well, no value from that, as instead they start heading down towards ramp. Do they go? No?
Oh.
No, they're just hanging out. They're just chilling.
They're toying with us. It's actually only WG who's in towards... Oh, Adames got a kill with the Zeus.
Hey, he did it.
Because that's the lurker. You're just shift walking lobby, free frag. Now pressure mounts on WG with the Julies. He's doing it loud and proud. No tasing on his side. Oh, it's electrifying though as he gets blinded up. And it's going to be the T's who assume site control, and that bomb plant is going to follow suit.
Start position should be well telegraphed. Yeah, he's good for one with the dualies as his teammates burst through the doors and trade him out quite nicely, losing a lot of their own reinforcements. But at the pistol round, you're not too concerned about that. All you care about is getting the round win. Now Adam S. Last one left alive. No kit to hand. Not too much can be done here. So just get a couple more frags if you can. And that's about as much as he's going to get done, as Ganginius is playing Ring Around the Rosie at this point. No shot. Oh, it missed. No. No. Does he actually get this kill? Oh, my God. You know what? He's good for 3. He will take that. Not a round win, unfortunately. But he dies on the exits.
All right, well, chaotic pistol round to say the least. Movistar get the opening kill, and that just forced Sangal's hand after they lost Youngster and Hut. They realized, okay, we just got to get a move on here. And that was actually the perfect timing for them to put the pedal to the metal. In fact, that entire pistol round just lives and dies with the skirmish towards the double doors, right? So many players fighting out there. And it was actually the Glocks that reigned supreme. The extra ammo made the difference. The third player to come through there. The 2 CTs had run out of ammo, so they were free frags. And, yeah, Sangal win a vital pistol to draw back within 1.
Alright, the follow-up's going to have to be clean here. I like Stododo holding for outside. HE comes through, nothing spotted. Oh, great timing on that. Little bit of chip damage, but not too much else to come through. Stododo's just going to keep spamming away, hoping that he'll connect with something. Dear Lord, man, a second connection. So much damage done. Nah, only good for the 1, unfortunately, but that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. A couple players being brought down below half health. However, problem for Movistar is they've just hedged their bets on nobody going down secret. Stacked up the defense, ramping in towards A as well, and it means that this should be an over round. I don't even think that they're going to go for the retake once they realize the B site's been compromised. Probably just going to accept their fate. So that's kind of anticlimactic that, you know, there could even be a world here where Movistar don't go for it, and then Stododo doesn't even know he's tagged them up because he doesn't get the assists, and that would suck.
And the crazy thing is, if he had gotten a kill there, I mean, instantly Movistar would have started the rotations, but unfortunately, just doing that little bit of damage, not really getting that information, they have no clue. And, I mean, you called it right now. They just go for the 4-man save. Go next, I suppose. Justice got a pistol in hand, so he might try and get an exit if he can. And you can see him there all the way towards their spawn. He wants to get his. It's all he cares about. But I think he may have actually been spotted. So he's playing a dangerous game here.
How much do they want this kill, though, is the question. Because you could lose quite a bit in the process. Justice fallen all the way back deep in T-spawn. Sangal, this is pretty ruthless. These guys are hunting right now. One of them being the low HP Salsal. Just, like, keep yourselves at range. Just rattling off the shots. Yeah, there we go. Put some respect on his name. Just the 1 casualty in the round, but Sangal level up the scoreline.
That's a great way to kick off their T side here. Looking very, very strong. For Movistar, you know, that second round force. Unfortunately, coming back to bite them a little bit. Yeah, thankfully they did save a lot of their weapons. And that I think is the upswing. So you force into it. If you know you're not going to win the round, fall off. Don't give over those weapons. I think we actually saw Sangal do the exact same thing on their half. They knew they weren't going to win the round, so they fell off. Now dear Lord, man, you are trying to live in their spawn. It is not your spawn, and you need to sit down. That's exactly what Sangal tell them. And that gives them the 2-man lead.
Okay, and off the back of this should be a 1-round lead as well. Movistar getting challenged here. Of course, early days, we haven't had a gun round yet in the second half, but gonna have to put some elbow grease into getting across the line here on the CT side, evidently. This one's just not gonna just fall into their lap, as it were.
Oh, man.
Like this round should. Should be a free round here for Sangal, right? 5v3.
Well, you've jinxed it. I don't think so.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
it's a jinx. There we go.
Yeah.
Good attention to detail. South will just clean up on aisle 9, mopping up.
Surely it's just another save. I suppose maybe Davy G wants to try and find an exit if he can. Farm up some cash. But aside from that, like, I don't see a point in challenging this. And there you have it. They will back out. Bomb will get planted. An 8th round on board here for Sangal. Not what we expected coming into this second half of Nuke. But you said it. We haven't had a gun round yet. Now Movistar are going to have a little bit of cash that they can work with. So maybe we'll start to see some more signs of life from them. Gonna have to see some of those adaptations coming through as well. So far, Sangal have just had their run of it. And part of the reason is definitely Movistar's hyper-aggressive play. Oh my god. Actually trying to hunt this down. Trying to take out these players. And he might even lose. No, doesn't lose. Okay, there you go. Eventually he gets caught out. We'll take away one of those guns. And they're still hunting this. They're still trying to shut it down. But no, Davy G gonna get to hold on to the MP9 at the very least. They've done some serious economic damage here.
Yeah, absolutely. Sangal with the lead here on Movistar's pick. Fighting tooth and nail on the T side into the first gun run we go. WG's going to keep his hands on that MP9. Not a bad gun to have on the CT side of Nuke. Just to update everybody, as we mentioned a while ago, there is a second stream going on right now. The match there on that stream is between Monty and Pera. And they're actually on the third map. It is Pera leading Monty 7-4 on the third map currently. We're quite a way behind that, of course, with the double OT we had in the first map here on the stream. Could go to a third map, Sam. I mean, you've got some more Counter-Strike coming up a bit later, so you're on a bit of a schedule.
Yeah, after this, I'm heading over to ESL Impact for anybody who's interested in the women's scene. I'm going to be doing the North American derby of FlyQuest Red versus Karma, which is going to be a seriously interesting matchup. But that is at like 2 a.m. our time, so
yes,
that's
got some time between now and then.
Yeah, you know, gonna make a coffee, maybe take a bit of a nap, assuming this doesn't go to 3 maps of double OT. Because if that happens, then, you know, we got problems. But,
yeah, I'll have to take over at that point. Go gunman.
Possibly, yeah. You know what? Solo cast Haze. I'm here for it. I mean, I won't
I've done
be
a lot of that
here
before.
for it, but...
Yeah, not literally. Figuratively, though, you'll be supporting me from the Impact cast. Either way, into a really big hit round here. Stadodo's got the AWP to play with. First gun run of the second half. Rifles outside of that bar WG. And X-Cloud, well, it's loud and proud, but he's made his way down into secret stairs here. Mopaz is the one who's responding, trying to keep him at bay.
Well, we're finally seeing an attempt at a ramp push here. Nice little bit of util coming through. Nobody checks Davy G. Good for the one. The rest of his team are there holding the line. He is still alive somehow. But a util to come through there. How is he still alive? But he's not good for yet another kill. Finally, the overrun comes through. And what should have possibly been pretty handedly Movistar's start to the round, Sangal have just pulled back into their control. 3 versus 2 here. Stadodo on such low HP. Not the end of the world. He's got an LWP in hand. All he has to do is hit 1 bullet.
I don't even know if they want to go for this, though. They're going to hear the footsteps in the A bomb site. They might just accept their fate here. I don't think they're going to have a crack at this retake. Alright, well, that's a really good recovery from Sangal, because it was looking so awkward towards ramp there. First player went through, then she was taken down by WG. There was just so much util being thrown back and forth. I was surprised WG didn't drop his molly earlier. That would have been a prime molly he could have thrown right there. 3 players trying to get through while his team was fighting, but the molly came through a second too late, so it didn't really have much of an effect. And Sangal continue their flawless run on this T side. That's going to be a 4th round in a row for them, including the first gun round. I think Movistar Koi are probably starting to sweat a little bit, you know.
I mean, it's wild that they're forced into a save 3 rounds in a row. Like, they can't catch a break here. They had a really good plan with that positioning towards ramp, and WG needed to get a little bit more done. His teammates needed to cover that cross a little bit more, you know, securely. And unfortunately, Sangal still come out on top of that one. But this is kind of a really important round, I think, for Movistar, because as much as at the end of this they're going to be on like that full loss streak, they're going to have a little bit of cash to work with here. This is one of the last times that they're going to get a really decent buy for a couple of rounds, you know, if they keep losing the way that they are. So they need to come out on top of this one. Losing this puts Sangal on double and takes us ever closer to map and, well, not series point, but map point for the very least.
Yeah, because it would be 10 rounds to Sangal. Anti-Eco should be 11-7 thereafter, so within touching distance at that point. Especially relatively speaking, considering there was 7-5 down coming into this. Did they just trade skins? Or did he throw his gun by accident? Was he trying to drop the nade and he also dropped his gun? Probably what happened. No way you're trading skins mid-side defense, either way. You're still going to start to rain in here. Sangal looking to force players out of position. Mopos is on top of the door right now. Youngster is ridiculously close, and he clears it out. All by design. Not just 1, but 2. He's the star of the round. Great work coming through from him. Xfloud will complement that with the frag of his own. That's the job done. Movistar Koi devastated by the outright attack on that A-bomb site.
No ways. No ways. What is this, 4th save in a row? What did I say earlier?
Yeah, I think it is. Too many.
This is just becoming very painful for Movistar. I mean, we kind of set the storyline a little bit earlier about how, you know, Movistar Koi, they've got a spot in the major. They're going to be playing in just a few days. And I know it kind of begs the question, you know, are they kind of resting, quote unquote? You know, you were saying a bit earlier, maybe they're not giving 100%. Maybe they're not, you know, playing all of the very best strats in their playbook because they don't want too much tape to be available on them going into the major. Like, these are all questions that kind of flood through our heads while we watch this. But, you know, for your average person watching, Movistar definitely look a little bit lost on the map so far. Util usage has not been the way that we expect it to be. Sangal have gotten too much value with some of their pops. They have very aggressive pops that Movistar just cannot seem to stem the tide of. This has been such a dominant second half.
Yeah, it certainly has. 5 rounds in a row coming through for the T side, and I agree with you. The problem is that Movistar just looking flat, and it's not even like, okay, they're hiding strats. It's like, no, they're just getting run over by an all-out A exec. It's not like you're going to be hiding much when you're trying to defend against that. Sangal's util usage really good, forcing players into certain positions and then hard clearing them. And this could be the round that really solidifies the map for the T side. At least for Movistar Koi, as you mentioned, they've kept saving and keeping players alive, which means they can continue to afford these buys here, but eventually the tap is going to run dry.
We're positioning for another lobby hit. These have been incredibly successful thus far. Movistar gonna try and take these fights a little bit more aggressively. Salsal just better. Davy G good for 1 as the pins comes through, but can they get much more done here? Here we go. Already down to a 2 versus 1. A much better hold. The slightly more aggressive positioning working up with Ganginho. Spots one out. Hello? Do they not know where he is? But now his position's known. Dodo has to be holding him. Surely he's aware of this. Great jumping there to spot him out, but he looks to the left. Easiest repeat of Stododo's life.
Yeah, what I'm just wondering is why both Stododo and his teammate, I can't remember who it was, looking towards Hut there, while there's a molly there as well. Nobody's considering Squeaky. And Ganginho had actually fired off a few bullets there just after Movistar had gotten the 4th frag of the round, so they should have known Ganginho was definitely lobby. They're just both watching Hut. Nearly proved to be a very costly mistake. Finally, Movistar win a round on the CT side, but that has to be the start of a run here. That has to be the first of many. And Sangal have built up a lot of money in the successful start they've had to the round. So, no problem investing here for them. Oh, that's a gun barrel. That's a gun barrel, Ganginio.
Oh, looking for the head. There it is. Oh, so clean. Such a small thing, just a pixel peeking through in the most unsuspecting way. And that's already Movistar Koi. Man down. And Adam S has been kind of a lifeline on this map so far. So to have him off so early on, I'm not going to be too happy with that one. Oh, Davy G just... I mean, at this point, it's playing whack-a-mole. You see a head pop up, you smack it down. However, Mopo's playing in the smokes. He's been doing this a lot so far, and he's going to be good for one here. Now they've left him unchecked. He's going to come up behind them. Justin's going to get one onto Youngster as well. So that's going to be that lurk taken offline. There's potential here.
Oh, big miss shot from Stododo. That would have denied the bomb plants, at least for the time being. Xfloud gets aggressive as well. Remember, there was Mopos on that flank. Xfloud will get cut down. Stododo just has to stay alive. He's going to tag the player up in the smoke grenade there. Now, wants to have a crack at this 1v2. Bomb plant ticking away. No kits either. There is one towards double doors, but it's going to be such a difficult post plant for him to try and navigate, especially considering that they're on either end of him. He's just looking for the kit. Doesn't have a smoke to try and stick the defuse either. Things going from bad to worse right now. Stododo is not having a good time in life. And Gina's going to molly that bomb. The door closed in Stododo's face. And that was just a comical end to the round.
Yeah, that got a little bit ridiculous. No more shenanigans of picking things up in smokes and with happy feet. Kit could not be recovered. Ganginio surviving behind the door there is absolutely ridiculous as well. But it's another round for Sangal. Movistar's money in absolute shambles. And this should be a free round for Sangal, but here's the problem. Well, okay, it's actually not as dire as I thought it would be, because Movistar will have a little bit of loss streak to work with, but it's not max anymore because they did win one a few rounds back. So losing this round puts them in a very, very tight spot. Whereas Sangal, not too concerned. They're fine. And if they win this round, it's map points.
And they should. I mean, they're playing against a bit of a half investment here right now. Movistar Koi have fallen flat on the CT side. 12-8, the imminent scoreline, which is actually the scoreline we saw on Overpass as well. When Sangal were the ones who had to fight to come back to force OT. Will we see something similar here? Mopaz hearing a lot of footsteps right now. Relays that information through to his teammates. The smoke starts to fade, and he becomes very exposed. Oh, disastrous. Okay, at least he gets the one. At least that's something to take to the bank.
Unfortunately, not too much to be done there, but it's a lot of information given over as well. They know how much of a heavy presence has moved towards that outside area, but they don't know where the bomb's going. There's a suspicion, well, maybe it's going to head down secret, but the bomb is making its way up towards heaven, completely unnoticed for now.
What's the plan? 30 seconds on the clock right now for Sangal to get across the line. You don't want to slip up against this type of a buy. That would be a disaster when you're so close to finishing off. With at least getting to map point, Adam S has recovered that AK. And it throws the cats amongst the pigeons. They were relying on this avenue of entry to get into the A bomb site. And it's just been shut down. The bomb's been dropped. Round is over. There's nothing Anguinho can do except carry that off through. So Sangal, they're going to be feeling a bit red in the face after that one, I reckon.
I must admit, xCloud going on his own, pushing up towards that heaven position. I don't know if I vibe with it. And unfortunately, he gets taken out. And he had the bomb. And that is the major issue. Like, if he's just one of the players, I mean, it's still a little egregious. But at least you haven't lost the bomb. But he did have the bomb. So that goes all different shades of messed up. And they hand that round over to Movistar. And Movistar are laughing to the bank. Because we said, like, okay, Sangal doesn't mind too much if they lose that round. They still got cash to work with. And that they did. But if they lose this round, dear Lord Hayes, we could be going to overtime again.
Well, I mean, that's the main problem with the previous round they just lost, was they were supposed to lock in overtime at the bare minimum. They were supposed to give themselves that insurance, and now they don't have that anymore. And like you said, there's a world in which they lose this next round, 10-11 becomes 11-11, and then I reckon Sangal will fret at that point. a big lifeline has been afforded to Movistar Koi here, with them winning that eco round. And Sangal just left themselves too much to do with too little time on the clock. When they've been moving with pace and conviction, that's when they've looked their best so far. So let's see, what's the approach going to be here from this T side? What is Linus calling?
Looks like we're going for another little bit of presence towards outside. Movistar Koi have heavily reinforced this A site, with very few sight lines out towards outside, but they do have the AWP posted up. Stododo here could be their last line of defense. As the smokes come out, shut down that sight line. HE, give him a little bit of extra vision. Ooh, it's a little too deep. He's not able to spot out anything. Well-placed smokes here from Sangal should give them a free cross. Stododo's found nothing. The funniest part about that is that this outside cross is like a lurk bait. Bomb is still heading towards lobby.
It's all about the conditioning. You never really want to be too predictable with how you use those smokes. Sometimes you send 4 players, sometimes 1, sometimes none. This time it's just Dexcloud who's playing that lurk role. Rest of the team setting themselves up towards ramp. It's only WG here right now, but he does have an AK, and that is capable of tearing up the opponents as they make their way forward. Doesn't have any utility. Let's see what's going to happen. Massive round right now. WG doesn't draw any blood. Forced backwards. Joined up with Stododo. Back to back right now. Stododo's taking out Xcloud, and now the rotations come through as well.
They're trying to hold this angle so nicely, but oh, Linus knows what's up. As much as we do get an opening kill here for Movistar. Oh my god, Stododo just can't be stopped. A 2k for him, keeping his team alive. Make it a third. He's looking for more. He smells the blood in the water. Ganguinho's the only one left alive here. A great recovery from Movistar. Okay. No ways. I genuinely thought he gets that. Caught with util out. I genuinely thought. But no, not to be the case.
Gets close. Pretty scary there for a brief moment. I can't believe Stododo. Stododo is him in that round because he's forced forward by the molly. And then he hits that ridiculous shot up close, shotgun AWPing. Then a really quick second shot to take down the player who's on the bomb sites in the corner. Wonderful work from Stododo. And Sangal now have to eco. This game is slipping through their fingers. Like sand in an hourglass, Sam. You should get that reference, right?
These are the days of our lives.
There we go.
So I think a lot of people know that one. I think that's just a South African, like a boomer thing, you know?
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it was an American show, but I don't know how popular it was around the rest of the world.
It was too popular here. It was a problem.
I was into Generations. That was a good one. Young and the Restless as well.
Oh, no.
Come on.
That's
Everyone had
terrible.
one soapy window growing up.
I mean, to be fair, mine was Seven the Lawn. I can't talk.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've all got our vices, Sam. Don't have to be embarrassed. It's okay. Alright,
Anyway.
well, Sangal. They don't have much going for them in this round.
I do like that there's an org on board. I am such an org enjoyer. It's actually unreasonable how much I like this gun. See, look at that! Look at that! Okay, it's an anti-eco, but still, it's fun.
It is fun, and it makes the game a lot easier when you're at range like that. Just mow them down. No problems, no hassles. 11-11. Sangal, they're going to be sweating a little bit now at this point, right? Lose this round, 12-11, and they don't have money. That's a concern.
I got a little too excited about the org. I'm not gonna lie.
It's okay. It's alright. You're allowed to like what you like.
You know what? Some people like LMGs. I like orgs. You know?
We shouldn't like those people, though.
No, definitely not. Those people and shotgun people. Those are not my people.
Yeah, I don't identify with that type.
You can't sit with us.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, okay, big round. Movistar Koi, they got the wind in their sails. Sangal, they're gonna be nervous. Don't have much utility, and they've got some, mostly flashes, 2 mollies, a smoke, second smoke, I suppose. Where do they go from here? Going towards A is the name of the game, splitting their way through mouth. The kills initially favoring the CT side. Justin's rooted on the bomb site. Wants to give himself some room to play with. He's lost WG though, but he will still stand tall for one, and he finds the last kill to finish it off. Just has been a monster for Movistar on this map so far, and that's map and series points.
I mean, the resurgence from Movistar over the last few rounds has been incredible. The fact that they've been able to dismantle Sangal's economy and keep them on the back foot off the back of one round that they managed to snowball for themselves. They're doing so much better than when we kicked off on the CT side. And now Sangal's economy is well and truly gutted. So little to try to work with. Movistar have everything going for them. And all they have to do is close out one round. Easy, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what could go wrong? Couple Mac 10s, a Desert Eagle, Sangal, surely this is not how they go on to lose the map, Sam. That would be a disaster. Oh, Stododo is so close. He also needs to be careful, though. Not like there aren't any threats on the opposite side of the server. And xCloud's gotten into a pretty good position here. He's going to be creating some space here for his teammates to start to group up outside of lobby.
Sangal playing a far more patient game here. xCloud making a ton of noise down towards B, and Movistar not biting. And look at that, a beautiful spray down will take out Youngster. Opposition heavily handicapped. Oh my, okay, nice little running gun from xCloud there, but it's all he's going to be good for. However, this site is now free and clear. Bomb is going to get planted. It's 3 versus 3. Rifles have been given over to Sangal. They're going to be happy with that. Now this retake has to come through. Davy G looking to kind of pincer up as the AWP holds from on high.
Oh no, tries to use the utility. We're down to a 2 versus 2. Stododo desperately finding a way forward.
What?
P250 in hand. It's only Ganginio. He has to clutch 1 versus 2. A defuse on both of the remaining players. A kit that is. They tap the defuse to try and bait Ganginio out. He comes flying forward, but straight into bullets.
What a resurgence from Movistar Koi to bring themselves back into this map when it seemed that all hope was lost. And honestly, a lot of that comes down to the pistol kill. Stododo from heaven. If that bullet doesn't hit, I think we are seeing a very different story here. I think we're headed into overtime. But
yeah. I can't
happen.
believe it. I can't believe that we don't actually end up going to overtime. I'm still thinking back to that round from Sangal where they were playing against the Pistols, where they tried to wrap around Heaven, the bomb got dropped in Heaven, and they ran out of time. That was a half buy, that was an eco, and they didn't win a round after they lost that one. That's where everything fell apart, and really they've got to be kicking themselves at that point, right? 4 rounds in a row, Movistar robbed Sangal blind.
And I must say, I think that might be like a consistent thing for Sangal, because we saw the same thing on Overpass, where
True.
they were trying to plant and they get stopped by a pistol from bathrooms, and after that, they just can't pick up a round. So these 1 round things that kind of boom the mental a little bit, one of the things that we need to see maybe, you know, come through a bit more for Sangal in the future. That resilience is now, they're going to go 2-1. In the overall standings, having lost their very, very first match so far this season. And of course, Movistar Koi are going to be happy to go up to 2-0, feeling pretty damn confident. Maybe a little bit shakier than we'd expected, but hey, a win's a win.
Yeah, Group D is taking shape very interestingly now after the progression of that match. As we get a look to see the player here, the pick of the second map, I suppose. Mopaz maybe not doing as well as we're used to seeing from him, but still an integral part of the team.
Yeah, 100%, right? Not the same kind of stand-up performance that we'd seen over on Overpass, but definitely doing a lot to keep his team alive, keep them going, and keep them alive just a little bit longer in this matchup. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, it wasn't enough for Sangal to pull through. But I mean, we are still very, very early on in the season. We've said it, it's only week 3. Sangal have only played 3 games, and to come through their first games 2-0, they're going to be feeling, hopefully, not too disappointed. Hopefully, they're going to be pretty happy. We've also got the player to watch stats. I think that's overall for the day.
The series.
Yeah. And
yeah,
I mean,
40, map in our series,
48 and 37.
Yeah,
it's decent.
He had a ridiculously good match, and I'm glad we highlighted before we came into the game as well today. I do want to just say about Sangal, there's a lot of things to get excited about, and there's a lot of positives for them as well. And it felt like they were the architects of their own demise in a lot of the ways. They were losing the rounds and then eventually the maps as well. So with that being said, they have to kind of just remedy one of 2 of the own things, you know, one of the mistakes they're making, and then they will start to beat these teams more consistently. So I do think there's a lot to be excited about for Sangal, and still a lot to look forward to here in Group D for them as well.
Yeah, 100%. And not just in Group D, but in the rest of the tournament as a whole. You know, we've still got our B stream going strong. I don't think we have an update on that scoreline, but it was on map 3, as you kind of mentioned a little bit earlier on. 11-9. So very close to closing it out. And who's currently winning on that one?
Monty is, and the game is paused right now, so make sure to switch across, guys. Still got some action for you. And then there's a lot of action coming up later, just different tournaments. Sam, you're going to be casting into the early hours of the morning.
Yes, I am. Unfortunately, South America ECL is being rescheduled because obviously we have Jönköping qualifiers happening. But ESL Impact is on. It's live right now. So if you want to go check out what the women are up to, please do go and check it out. That's ESLCS_GG. You can catch me there in a few hours doing North America. But that's going to be it from Hayes and myself, at least for today. We will be back tomorrow with more ECL action for Europe. And we look forward to seeing you all there. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you tomorrow.